Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to the Kill Corner Club podcast. This is episode 110. I'm one of your hosts, James, and I'm joined, as always, by Tyler.
As always, how's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty good. How you doing?
Yep, very good.
Wonderful.
Very, very good. Excited, the pillars are assembled, so
We've assembled.
raring to go.
Indeed. So today we're obviously joined by the other two of the four pillars, because we do have every single 10 episodes. The reason why it might sound a little bit... what the fuck am I talking about? It might seem a little bit like it's been pretty recent, is because we did a bunch of pillar stuff, I think, before and during the meetup and everything. And so we've done a bit, so it's not really the same. But we're joined by Ethan and George, the pillars. You know them by now. We don't need to keep doing this. Introduce them like new people. But welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you very much. We're back.
It's all, the thing is, it's always someone's first podcast, every episode.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Every single episode of Kill Corner Club, it's someone's first one ever.
Well, it should be.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Should have started
There's
before
always someone
now.
listening going, oh, this is new to me. Who are these guys?
True, that is true, actually. Think about it like that. Maybe you do need to introduce. I want my fucking channel name.
Alright, fine, right. Alright, let's do it. We're joined today by LongEaredFox, or George, how's it going?
You're right, mate.
Yeah,
I'm alright.
Here we go, yeah.
And we're also joined by Ethan, or Fizhy. How's it going?
It's going terrible. I want to.
Oh no!
No, it's going fine.
Oh, thank God.
I was
Jesus
doing
Christ,
that just to
getting-
make these newcomers feel bad. But, oh well.
Yeah, right. Well, right, fantastic. Well, hello, all the new people.
Hello.
You know, and I guess if you're new, you wouldn't know that this podcast is brought to you by the great people over at patreon.com/as always.
Yeah, you're right.
So thank you to those people for helping power this podcast, making this happen.
You alright?
Yeah. What's the delay?
Tyler?
What?
Is he gone?
Oh, yeah? Oh my God, I got
What
disconnected.
was that?
I got
Oh.
disconnected. I got disconnected.
That was so funny.
I got disconnected.
Skype doesn't want you to do the patron list.
Because you guys stopped, like, I stopped hearing you guys, and then I was like, oh,
Because we weren't
shit.
talking.
I know you weren't talking, but also, like, you know, you can tell. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
back-
Oh yeah, you
tell.
can hear the mic noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where you lost me, but again, if it's your first time listening, this podcast brought to you by the great people at patreon.com/as always. They're these people, this show would happen, but all the other stuff we do wouldn't happen. That's the thing. So our producers of this podcast are King Richard III, Smexy Dork, Elsterco91, HBars12, I Got Big Shoes, Seth, and Josh Devil. Yeah, appreciate you guys. You know, you guys are over at Patreon are what keep us going. Ethan's got a Patreon as well, you know, and it helps us make great content, do more things like we did the meetup. The last time the four of us all talked, we were in the same room together.
Yeah.
You
Then we
know,
had to move away from each other. The world couldn't handle us. It's too much of a disaster.
it was too. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use the word disaster. I'd say it was too much. It was too much magic in the air.
Yeah.
You're right.
Too much magic for Northampton to handle.
Oh, it really. I mean, it really was. I'm sure we talked about this on that last Four Pillars podcast when we're all in the same room, all in person. But when we all were in the same room together at the same time for the first time, it was a weirdly like, whoa, this is actually a pretty important special. It felt special.
It did, yeah.
Though something was happening. When I was in the same room as George and James at the same time, I was like, yeah, this feels normal. James and Ethan and me felt normal. But when all four of us, that's when it felt like that was when I was like, okay, this is crazy. This is special.
Hey, it's the Four Pillars guys. I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah.
They're all in James's living room.
Can you imagine some guys just walking, his dog looks through the window and is like, wait, what the fuck?
It's the four pillars.
Yeah, imagine.
That's
It's
great.
my favourite YouTubers and Tyler. Just
Yeah,
imagine.
well, thanks, man. But yes, again, if you like what you're listening to here, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time ever listening, and you're like, I want more of this, obviously there's another 110 episodes you can go back and listen to. But over at patreon.com/as always, for just $1 a month, you can get a week's early access to the Cinema Room podcast. That's right after this episode of Kill Corner Club wraps up, a new episode of the Cinema Room goes up on Patreon for a week's early access, and we're covering the Joker movie. that just came out, so you want to check that out. Plus, every week, this podcast isn't on. The exclusive Clubhouse podcast, the best podcast on the internet, is over at patreon.com/as always. So to thank a few more of those sweet vintage lads, we have once again King Richard III, Smexy Dork, Elstico91, HParts12, I Got Big Shoes, Seth, Ballsack47, Josh Devlier, Damian, Billy the Team Tynamite, Captain Robertson, Tman or Travis, SuperTuberEddie, Baby Boy, KEMOSABE Gamer, Casey Wood, Pink Flame 313, Adam Sundling, Alfie Rowsell, Jamie Brown, Jesper Olsen, Lumistrad, DIDDLOTIC, Mario 5380 wants to blow, The Creed, That Fuck Cuck, Brendon Big Overlord, RAVJAI, Ikraik, Oscar, Benedict Parker returns, Jimli, James Lake, Durose Bully in the alley, Zahir the FAT Gamer, Max H, Gene, Zeke, the number one fan of JB Smoove, the actor, Son of a Bitch, Ogeaidogo, George, Noah Watts, Furious Coco, Nick Miller, the ACMJS, McZed, Kassassin, Kyle S. Jaws, Marcus Blackburn, Emil Catball, Joshua Mora, Ginkgo Swag, Master Bass, Remy the Rat is a cunt Ashton, Amir the Synth Potato, Yays and Joe the Sexy Boy Smith, Joe aka Founded Scarab, Iron Man's for the Dads, Derriday, Alfie Rodbert, Brian Ford, Casper, the Good Old Boy and the Pillar, Fizhy, and Andrew Martinez. Thanks you, sweet vintage lads, for making this show happen. Appreciate it.
Fucking hell, that list has grown since last time.
I just want to draw attention to the structuring of Mario 5380 wants to blow the Creed.
I love that guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is.
Is that one name?
No, it's a guy that keeps changing his name. It used to be is gay, and then he changed it to enjoys rim jobs, and now it's wants to blow, and his profile picture is just Logan Paul.
So whoever's name gets read before his, it's like Mario 5380 wants to blow. Next name, The Creed. So it's just
it's great. I love him.
He knew that wherever he'd be, he'd managed to do that with that name.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Love it. My favorite. Oh my god.
I do apologise if you hear a lot of intense breathing from a dog in a second, because I just come upstairs and my door is not shut.
Oh god, Dennis.
But then he'll come in, he'll destroy something. He'll find something to steal and leave, so it's fine. If we stay perfectly still, he won't notice us.
Fucking Dennis. Oh my god. Well, here we are. Another Kill Chronicle, another 4 pillars. We've done 4 of these in the last 10 episodes. Obviously, we did episode 100, and episode 105, 106, in person, meetup, all that stuff. And now we're over a month and a half removed from the meetup.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's close to 2 months, isn't it now?
For me, it's 2 months.
It is close to 2 months.
For me, I left good old Northampton 2 months ago today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from the meetup itself, like the actual 4 pillars, it's been 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Shit.
It's mad.
Feels like yesterday in a few hours, maybe. But here we are.
So weird.
Life goes on.
Because life goes, exactly. Life goes on.
Damn it.
Yeah, I should miss the boys, miss the lads. Yeah, it is like a fever dream.
Yeah, it was weird, is what it was, and it was great.
Yeah,
and now it's over.
That was so depressing. And
now it's over.
Now it's over.
Thanks for listening.
Now it's over.
And that's it. Yeah, all right. Well, what the fuck's been happening, guys? I haven't talked to George or Ethan since then. So, George, what the fuck's happening with you, man? What's going on in your life?
Kind of a lot of nothing, to be honest, at the minute. Like,
so
it's
the
like
same as it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been out of school about 2 months by the time the meetup happened, and I mean, right now I'm just sort of like trying to fucking get a job, to be honest. It's not very glamorous, but that's literally all I'm doing. Trying to drive. I passed my driving theory test. I fucking uploaded no videos. I played a lot of Minecraft. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been playing Minecraft. It's maybe a bit too much, but it's for a video, so it's all right.
It's
not a video. You're doing a Minecraft retrospective.
I'm doing a Minecraft retrospective video, which is going to be a bit mental, but I thought it'd be enjoyable.
Are you going to use the Minecraft thing where you go back to the old versions and stuff, or not?
No, I think it's more of a video based on
10 years later.
It's like why is Minecraft popular again?
Minecraft's big comeback. That's pretty good.
It is
the great return of Minecraft.
What happened to your Skyrim retrospective? You were
It's still
working on that.
happening. It's just that I need to find the time to finish the main quest and finish all the DLCs and stuff. And it's just like I wanted to play Minecraft, so I just kind of started playing Minecraft. And was like, yeah, I'll do Skyrim at some point.
But Minecraft.
I've got like 3 videos sort of simultaneously, slightly being worked on at the minute, which is better than nothing. So there you go. That's what I've been doing.
Are you still out at all hours of the night? Just doing things.
Sometimes I fix my sleep schedule now though. I woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning today.
Holy shit!
That's crazy.
I'm impressed.
No.
Good for you, man.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job. Oi, George, proud of you.
Thank you. At least someone is.
Ethan, what about you? What the fuck's happening? What's been going on?
What have I been doing? I've been looking for a job as well, to be fair, and I've
Let me ask you this question: why are you looking for a job when you?
This has always been the plan, all right? This has always been the plan. So I've just been looking for a job. I've landed a few interviews. There's one where I got an offer for it, but in the end, I wasn't able to take it because of my situation at home and all that. It would have just been life-consuming, and I don't particularly fancy that somehow. So I'd rather still be able to train martial arts and, do YouTube and things like that on top. So essentially I've been looking for a flexible job. Not been going too great, but not been going too bad either. So with any luck, something will come up. Beyond that, I've not been doing too much. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're a successful YouTuber.
Yeah, that doesn't make it a stable one, does it? Let's be honest.
But what do you mean by stable? What does that even mean?
Well, you know how ad revenue on YouTube is made and how money is made on YouTube and things like that. You can't call it sustainable, can you?
I wouldn't say
True.
so. Depending on
it fluctuates.
how
Unless
well
you're-
you are.
Unless you're James, you just go, you know what, I'm going to stream, and then everyone donates their entire bank balance.
Drinking a bottle of vodka. That was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
no.
great fun.
Yeah, no, it's. I wouldn't consider it to be stable, though. Though earnings are all right, I'd rather have something that I can rely on as well, and that makes it easier.
But you don't think you could take what you're doing and make it stable? Like make some moves?
I could in theory, but I'd rather have something stable while I do that.
Okay. Do you think you'll have enough time to be doing what you do now with a full-time job?
I mean, I spend most of my time twiddling my thumbs anyway, so yeah.
Why?
Fair play. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I came off so passive then.
It's just somehow Ethan uploads a video every single day, George. Unlike you.
Oh, he's just better at it than me. I think that's it. Everyone's better at it than me. I mean, I'm not consistent. I just kind of like to sort of get around to it. Like that Reach video, I finished Halo Reach like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, what the fuck happened with that?
It's still happening. The video's still happening.
No, it's not. It isn't.
Yes,
though,
it is.
Prove us wrong. Go on.
Happening in my dream.
How much have
got a
you
script
written of
for
the
it.
script?
Like half of it.
How?
It's
You
not
know-
happening.
How do you
know,
written half a
before I
script in
made-
2 months? That's mad.
Because it takes
You-
fucking...
It
You know
only
how
takes
long it takes
ages
me
if
to
you
write half a
procrastinate
script?
and don't do it.
I know it does. And that's
Yeah.
You know
exactly
how-
what
There you go.
I...
Half a
Sorry,
script.
what's that?
Oh.
What's that?
You know how long it takes for me to write about half a script?
How long?
Take a wild guess.
2 minutes.
Not 2
Half
minutes.
a
That's
day.
fucking crazy to mean. No, about 40 minutes, I'd say. 'Cause,
Yeah, it just
Fuck
see,
me.
it's the thing though. I can relate. Because when I did that God of War 1 year later video, I woke up in the morning. Like I woke up super early. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I can't go back to sleep. And then I realized it was the 1 year anniversary of God of War, and I was like, oh, I really want to make a video for that. And it was probably about 2 hours, and then I finished the whole script, and it was just done. And I was like, wow, that was great. I felt
Yeah,
very
exactly.
accomplished.
See, scripts shouldn't be so daunting, George.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Sometimes
fucking are, though. They're annoying.
They can be sometimes. Yeah.
So...
depends on the script.
Because I end up
yeah.
writing the same shit that I do in previous videos, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I've
What
noticed.
am I do-
Something I've noticed, and I think people will start to notice if I point it out, is every time I start, like, if it's some sort of video essay that's like on a topic, not on like a review. Even sometimes in reviews, I started off with, when I was a kid, I played this game, and then I love RPGs, and I've always played them, and then like I'll list RPGs, or like I'll list the games I played as a kid or something. I do it all the
Witcher
time.
3.
You can go through them, and I will list, and I just go through and I like quick fire, just list a bunch of game names. I do it all the fucking time, and I don't really know.
Yeah.
I noticed recently, and I was like, oh, I need to stop doing that because it's every single
Such an
video.
amazing thing, though.
We
Yeah, but it's
call it
so
the
good.
latest format. It's just it's what James
Listing
does.
videos at the start of a video.
It was the best thing in every single one of James's videos is he will praise The Witcher 3 at some point.
And I will shit on Odyssey
Even if
at
it's not
another
related
point.
to it. Yeah, so will I, that's the thing. Everyone needs to shit on Odyssey.
I
every
always
now and
go
then.
onto any video. It doesn't even have to be related to RPGs or anything, and I'll use Odyssey as an example. Like it's my go-to example for like a shit game.
Bad game.
So
Yeah,
that's what
it
I
is.
always go to, and The Witcher 3 is always like my go-to for a game that has a lot of care put into it. So those are like my quick just go-to references.
This dude's a
When I
Witcher
don't put all
3
the
fanboy,
thought.
man.
It's great.
Yeah.
God.
The lasers style, we'll call this. And then we'll leave it at that.
That's what it is.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I let that go on way too long.
Sorry, do you want to talk about YouTube analytics?
Please.
Do you want to
Analytics
talk
now.
about something
Because
that's
before-
actually important?
But before we go on to YouTube analytics, can we talk about height and like measurements and things like that? Just before that.
Guys, did you know? I think I'm
My
I think
dick
I'm-
is 3 inches.
I think I'm
yes.
short, guys.
Oh,
Did you know that?
that was fucking a joke.
I had no idea, man.
Because
Dude, I'm
someone told me
shocked.
on Instagram yesterday, and I didn't realize, and now I'm confused. I don't know. I just wondered if you guys noticed. Or
Well,
not.
I when we were all in person, I kind of thought you were just the same height as all of us. I had no idea. But then, yeah, there were a few comments on Instagram, and I'm glad they said it because I didn't know before that.
Yeah,
But because they said it, now I do know that you're short.
Mhm.
I'm very surprised that James was short. I didn't know that he was short. When I met him,
surprised
he
too.
was regular height. And then in every photograph, he seems to shrink. And what the fuck gives?
It's forced
Why?
perspective. Peter Jackson took all of our photos from the meetup. That's what it was. He just wanted me to look like a hobbit.
Every
Peter
time
Jackson
someone
took
tweeted
all
about
that
James being short, he got shorter.
It's like he's like Pinocchio, but instead of getting a long nose, he gets shorter every time he brings up fucking Odyssey or fucking The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
It gets shorter every time he brings up. What the fuck? Oh, God.
Every time I make a comparison to The Witcher 3 or Odyssey in a video, I get smaller.
Every single time. Every single time.
He loses
Um,
the sentiment.
I can live stream now, guys.
Oh
That's
my
the thing.
god, that was
Shit.
amazing. I watched it last night. It was so much fun.
Yeah, you helped me get the syncing right and stuff, which
Yeah.
I knew would be an issue. That's why I didn't want to start the R2 trilogy today,
Yeah. That drove
because
me
I'm like, it's
mad.
gonna be. But we fixed it. It's fine.
I know, but it confused me so much how you couldn't just delay certain elements. Like I'm. So,
No, yeah, no,
really
the only
fucking
thing,
confused me.
for whatever reason, I couldn't delay the game picture,
Yeah.
the gameplay, more
Yeah.
than 500 milliseconds. It
That's
would not
so
let me go any
weird.
higher.
That's so
Everything
weird, though,
else I could
'cause-
do whatever I wanted.
But the game is
You're using
delayed by
Streamlabs
default,
OBS.
right? No, he's
Yeah.
using Stream. He's using OBS for Mac.
Yeah, it's a Mac.
Oh,
So
it's
it's
a
shit. So it's
disaster.
really shit and restrictive for some reason.
Yeah, it's a disaster. It's a you know what? It's a disaster.
Classic Apple.
But I've been trying to use it for months, and Mario, when I called Mario, he tried to help me, couldn't do it, and Eddie fucking gets on a call with me. We spent about an hour and a half working it out, and we got it.
That's weird though,
Thank
because Eddie
God.
uses a Mac, right? So how was it not instant?
Yeah, he
like
does.
I know how to do it.
Probably
Because
No, he knew
Eddie.
how to do it, but it took that long. There's that many loops
See, Eddie's got like.
and hoops you have to jump through to set it up. Like, he knew straight away everything I had to do. It just took
Okay.
an hour and a half for all the hoops and all the, like, back doors you have to fucking go through just to kind of trick OBS to work for a Mac.
It's so
Like,
weird. Eddie's got it set
OBS
up
wants-
really nicely though. Like
So-
he's got such a nice like little
His-
face cam,
his
donation tracker, and everything. It's really cool.
yeah. Well,
I
that's
reckon
just
it's
Eddie
better
for
than
you, isn't
mine. I reckon it's better than mine. Mine is trash.
Oh, I've seen
Mine's
the
so
new one.
bad.
Oh, I
It's
love
set up
mine.
like
I'm really
shit.
proud of mine.
Oh, James, yours is amazing. I kind of just want to get a fucking build a PC just to stream with at this point. Like, you know,
No, you
it's
don't.
just, it's
No, you
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No, I don't know. You're right, I actually don't.
Really don't.
But,
Streaming's
you
a
know,
ball, like,
it's
that's
just-
why I stopped for 2 years.
Oh, I love streaming.
I
It's
just
great
couldn't-
fun. Once you have it all
I
set
do
up,
enjoy
it's easy.
streaming.
You just click go.
You
and
make
then
you
do
make
it.
me feel like I should be streaming, James, but then I stream and I'm like,
God,
ah, god, this is
I'm
so
sorry,
much effort.
boys.
Once you've got it
Sorry,
set
he's
up, you're good. You're good. Like once you've got it set up, it's fine.
Whenever I
Yeah.
start a stream, I just fucking feel tired like instantly.
I said it the first. I did say it the first few times out. Streaming is hard work, but then when you get used to it, it kind of gets easier. If you get me, because then you sort of understand what you need to do every single time you set up a new stream. You know, you've got your settings already set and everything is set up, and once you're there, it shouldn't be too difficult. But then again, when it comes to issues with streams, there's no real reason for them. They just happen.
Oh
It
god, I
make you
fucking
sick.
hate it so much. Like you'll just be streaming, and all of a sudden, like you'll have no mic audio, or like the video will be delayed, and you're like, why? Why is this happening? This doesn't make any fucking sense.
My recent issue is I get like lag spikes on my entire PC when I'm streaming, which is for some reason it like the CPU usage peaks and then it just drops to about 25% and then goes back up to the regular 75 and just does that for a bit. And every time it does that, it lag spikes. And it's like, what's this about then? What's going on?
Yeah, streaming's a fucking ball ache. It's horrible sometimes.
God,
but
I love it
fun.
though. It's great. I can't believe there was a time when I used to not be able to stream because my internet was so bad. And it was like a thing I really wanted to do.
Strikes.
Yeah, all because I had copyright strikes. I had to start lasers live, but that's another story. Don't worry about that.
Let's talk about that.
I went live on
was
Lasers
my-
Live the other day because I was like, I wonder who will show if I go live on Lasers Live, and I just did like a video off my phone. I was just gonna do a little vlog and talk to people that showed up because I thought that might be fun. Nobody showed up. Literally zero. It was me. It was just me, and I was like, that's actually all right. That's actually better because that means it's fully dead and everyone can forget about it now. That I ever did
Forget
that.
about the live
gone.
lasers.
Lasers Live. I did it.
Lasers Live is deceased.
2 parts of
a
a Far Cry 4 series, and that was about it. Quality.
Lasers lit. No, that's a shame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm excited to be streaming now and to kind of get into it and get better at it and hopefully I can get the quality a bit up every time I do it, but it's going to take some time. If it's definitely going to take some time.
Yeah, no, it's never an instant process. You never go from not streaming to streaming like I don't know. I'm trying to use an example here. Say James, for example, everything's all flashy and shit, even though I have no fucking clue what he's doing there. You know?
I don't know how he does it. I remember when I showed up, and we did the first Celeste stream at his house.
Oh yeah, and I had the new setup on stream.
And you had the new setup, and you were showing it to me before. So I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? How do you in your head go, oh, I know what I want it to look like, and then you just make it look like that?
You don't. It's a horrible, rigorous process, and you know. You want to slit your throat after you're about 5 hours deep, and you're like, why'd I waste 5 hours on this? I can't believe it, but I have to keep going because it's a waste of time if I don't finish it.
I feel better now because you just seem so casual about it. Like, yeah, I just threw this together.
It was horrible. It was so fucking horrible, but I did it, and I'm happy.
It is horrible. I just use one of the presets from fucking Streamlabs, to be honest.
Streamlabs has
presets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, James makes his own fucking amazing shit, and I kind of think, but I mean, James does everything like disdainfully. Like he almost like hates everything he does, but
Yeah.
does it out of just spite.
I'm like, I have to do it. I have to do
I'm
it.
fucking doing it.
You see, James has got a good mindset here. He knows that everything good happens by accident. It's never intended. Like you'll never go in with an idea of what you want it to look like, but you'll come out and be like, that's all right, or that looks like shit. You know, it's one of the two. It's never I know exactly what I want it to look like. Let's go for it. It's just a case of let's see what kind of settings I can fuck with.
Yeah.
And then
see how many hours I can fuck about with this.
Oh, I can't explain to you how long it took me to get that fucking Marvel Studios intro right for the Four Pillars Assemble skit. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. I had a camera rig that was set up
I honestly don't know how.
It was set up for the Marvel Studios logo. So like the pattern was made for the Marvel Studios logo. And then because it didn't say Marvel Studios anymore, it went through a letter so you could see the inside of the text, and Ethan's face that was meant to be on the back wall of one of the letters was stretched to fuck. So I was like, I need to fix this, but it was every back wall. So what I had to do was change the it was like a video, I forget what it's called. It's like when you get the same video and it repeats itself over and over and over again. I had to turn that up really, really high so that it repeated it so much that it was like you could only see it once on the thing, so it wasn't stretched. And then I had to make sure it was in line
use?
properly and make the camera weave through the text. It was fucking horrible. It was so bad. I was like, at the point of nearly being in tears. I was like, I don't know how to fucking do this. But then I did it, so we're alright. But
James,
You
which video of mine did you use? That's what I want to know.
I think it was an actual comments video because I wanted one with your face in it. And then I couldn't find one.
That's a good choice.
And I was like, actual comments, I'll have your face. Or no, it wasn't actual comments. It was the video on Ubisoft's statement about XP farming in Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's the one I used.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I had my face in it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, another decent choice.
But
see, I was gonna say, if you went for actual comments, there's a good chance that a comment is just gonna appear in that letter, and then it would be wounded. Like this is supposed to be, but it says "fuck you." What do you mean? As all wet "fuck you," it would just be great.
Yeah, it's tough. Some of the stuff I do is fucking tough. I spend I have this idea in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna make this thing, and then I'm like, I'm just not happy if I haven't done it. So I'm just keep going until eventually it's done. And sometimes I spend too long on it, but it looks nice in the end, and I'm happy with it. So I guess I'll keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, I don't know how James does it, and more of the fact of like, I'd just be overdoing this shit by now. I just don't have the same passion for it as James does.
Mm-hmm.
Like to make YouTube content, and then again, I don't have as financial a benefit ever in my life that James sees for doing what he does. But so maybe if I saw that and I was like, it's worth it. But
I guess, but it's never the stuff I spend time on that makes the most money, except for when you look at like the Fable retrospective, like that was worth it in the end. But I don't know, like I'm trying
that
to
was
think of
also a
other
bit of a
stuff that I
fluke
did.
in some ways.
Yeah, it was. So it's like the stuff that I work really hard on, that I spend too long making things for, like in After Effects, never really does that well that it was like worth my time to do it. But I love doing it so much.
Skills though,
and it's the thing is as well. Like I learned most of After Effects in college, and that was actually the most useful thing I got out of college was learning lots of After Effects stuff and motion graphics. But the one thing that I started doing, and I kind of regret it now, is every time I do a new wishlist episode, I have an After Effects intro that's like for the game, this specific game we're talking about in that episode. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this is the worst, and I never want to do another wishlist again because I have to do this fucking intro, and I've started it now, and I can't stop.
Just do it less frequent then. Do like once a month or something.
Well, the last wishlist I did, I think, was Ghost of Tsushima, and I think that was about 4 months ago.
Oh, fucking hell, really?
Yeah, I've only done 4 episodes of it, I think. I did Harry Potter, Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know, there was some other ones. I don't remember what I've done. It's so long ago that I started the series. Oh, Jedi Fallen Order. That's how long ago it was. That was the first episode I did of Wishlist, was Jedi Fallen Order, and it was before the game was even officially, like, shown.
First true episode of Wishlist was Empire Wishlist.
Empire Wishlist, yeah. Sex and gore, graphic violence. Empire Wishlist episode 5.
Assassin's Creed
Publicola, Darius running to Athens.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
I love though the Empire Wishlist. A lot of what I talked about in Empire Wishlist ended up actually being in the game. So
yeah,
it's almost like they were watching.
Yeah, it's almost like they were.
I know they
fans of
were.
Wishlist.
Yeah, they definitely were.
They fucking
Ashraf
were.
doesn't watch James's stuff. That'd be weird.
No, you're right.
Ashraf would never ever associate with someone like James. What a fucking disgusting man.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, I agree.
Ashraf watching James, you fucking mad.
I'm evil, actually.
James is a filthy boy.
Evil.
James, you fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
None of these soft cucks ever watch your content.
Oh, do you remember when that was a thing, like a genuine thing? That was
everyone thought you were a Nazi.
It was a weird period of time. The four
Have
you guys noticed? There's been a lot less people being called Nazis in the last couple of months, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me happy. It's almost like there aren't any Nazis anymore.
Yeah, well, almost. I mean, there definitely are probably some, neo-Nazis out there. Shit, but it's not every second white dude, like, is what I felt like.
No, it's every third white dude.
There's a 50. You just look yourself in the mirror and go, "There's a 50% chance that I'm a Nazi."
Yeah, there's more of a chance I'm a Nazi than I'm a homosexual.
I can do finger guns again.
Yeah.
Nah, it's offensive, mate. Finger guns are offensive.
Oh no! What? Why? Oh god! I just realised why.
That's amazing. Why?
Oh,
It's
no,
like
why?
genuinely asking why.
Oh no, why? Jesus Christ. All right, fucking let's start getting into some topics then before we go down a deep dark path that I'm sure we'll get down to later, but it's too early for that.
I've been so deep down a dark path before that I don't think it'll be a problem to retread.
Yeah, let me get warmed up first, boys. All right.
Yeah.
What
I want
topics
to
you
talk.
got for us?
I want to talk about Marvel, and the reason I want to talk about this is because Spider-Man got taken away from the MCU.
Yes, indeed.
A couple of months ago, and
It was a sad time.
after that, honestly, my whole love for the MCU and Marvel started to fade away.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, Avengers Endgame came out on Blu-ray, and I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about watching it. Because I'm like, it's fucking ruined. It is, honestly, after Far From Home, and then that's it. You've ruined it. There's no future for it. Everything that's built up to, and the big climax of this first generation of the MCU, and then it sets up the next generation, and the whole next setup has been fucked.
By
And
none other.
Did you guys feel?
Sony and Disney.
Yeah, did you guys feel that? Did you guys lose like that excitement about MCU in the future after this happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
mean,
as well.
I
I felt
talked
it.
about this.
Yeah.
I felt, I was like, hang on a minute. Didn't they try to focus on Spider-Man and then they removed him? I thought to myself, what the fuck's this bullshit? Why is Sony being a dickhead? You know, it's that bad.
I would love to have known what went on behind the scenes exactly, but Spider-Man is officially back in the MCU for at least 2 more films, for Spider-Man 3 in July 2021, and what you'd assume would be the next team-up movie of the Avengers or whatever they're doing next.
Yeah.
And apparently, Tom Holland was massively instrumental in making it happen by directly talking to Bob Iger, Disney CEO, and as well the Sony president to make the talks happen, because Tom Holland wanted to keep Spider-Man in the MCU and keep it going. And now I'm rejuvenated. I'm like, I'm back in 100%, back to how I felt before this all went down. Where are you guys at, and how do you feel about Spider-Man being back? What the announcement was, and the fact that Tom Holland was so big in making it happen. James, do you want to take this one
sorry,
first?
I was drinking. I thought someone else was going to do it, so I was like, it'll be fine to take a drink. All right. Okay, let's see. So yeah, I mean, I'm still a little bit all marveled out, to be honest with you. I mean, like I'm more excited for things now. Like, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, I was always looking forward to it, but now I'm like, okay, finally I can be invested in these things and know that the future is sort of safe with Spider-Man 3 and him being in the next team up, and the fact that even though they haven't got any plans past that, they probably will do when it comes to that point. So rather than signing a contract for like 10 movies like they did before, or whatever it was, like something mad like 6 movies, now they've signed a contract for 1 movie and an appearance in a team up film. And then when that's done, they can sort out another contract, and I'm sure they will do, and keep things going. At least I hope so. And so it's got my excitement back for you know, everything else that's happening in the MCU. Doctor Strange, my favorite show that's coming, WandaVision, and
fucking WandaVision.
Whatever Spider-Man does, you know, leading the MCU further, and we can continue with this arc that was set up by Tony Stark and his sacrifice in Endgame. So. I'm finally, like, I can be invested in the MCU again and be excited for it, and not just be excited with always this thought of like, oh, actually, no, I don't care, because it was always like, I'd be like, oh, that's gonna be cool, and then I'm like, yeah, but who cares, because they fucked it, didn't they? So I'm happy.
Yeah, you did it, didn't you?
You did it, didn't you? 20K. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say that every time I hear the title WandaVision, my thoughts go to Chucklevision. I know which of those I'm going to prefer.
Oh, WandaVision. I can't wait. Apparently, this is a point. Apparently, WandaVision was entirely Kevin Feige's idea. Like, no one pitched this to him. He came up with this idea and got someone to make it. So,
Kevin Feige,
who knows?
mate.
Kevin Feige, this is his magnum opus, I think.
Magnum opus. This is Kevin Feige's magnum opus, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
This is the best thing in the world.
Yeah, it's gonna come out and we're all gonna be like, wow.
WandaVision.
Well, maybe we will be.
Amazing.
We might look back on
Yeah,
this
it might
podcast
actually,
and be
yeah.
like, ah, shit, WandaVision was like the best thing in the MCU.
Yeah, it might actually be really good, but you know.
I think no matter what we think of what it actually is, you'll look back and go, title's still shit though.
Yeah, the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna think that title's good.
No, title
WandaVision.
sucks.
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
What does that even mean?
I just love hearing Kevin Feige talking about it, like how, oh, we had a great time with Spider-Man, you know, while we had him, and now,
Like we told the story we wanted to tell.
yeah, this is great. And now I'm excited. I really wanted to do a sitcom, you know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we got WandaVision. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Sitcom. Are you telling me it's a sitcom?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sitcom.
Like fucking Friends?
Yeah.
You what? Hang on.
I think
How's that gonna
though,
be
but I think
then?
that's the angle they're going from. Like, I think it's going to begin as like a sitcom type thing, and I think it'll
Yeah, it's
slowly
like
a more
deteriorate
fucked up
and get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end. I reckon that's what they're going to do with it.
And then it leads
Wait,
into
hang on.
Multiverse of Madness.
I reckon so. Yeah, I reckon it's like a prequel setup for that.
It has to.
Sitcom that leads
Watch
into
like
a
Doctor
fucking
Strange
colossal
like
event.
do bits at the end of it.
Yeah,
or
like
some
he'll
shit.
show up at the end, like
Stupid.
everything will get fucked up, and then
Oh,
Doctor Strange will show up at the end of
please.
WandaVision, and that'll
And he's
set
like,
up
"You gotta
Multiverse
come
of
with me."
Madness.
Then he just fucks him up.
He just goes, "You
Doctor
gotta
Strange
fucking
is-
come with me. I'm Doctor Strange, man. Alright."
Doctor Strange is sick. I love him. He's great.
I do as well.
Yeah.
This is Benedict Cumberbatch, and I love him.
Yeah.
Benedict
Doctor
Cumberbatch,
Strange
yeah.
shows up. He's got the bit of stones, and then he just fucking. fucks him up.
He's got the time stone.
Okay. Okay then.
Oh, Ethan wasn't there for the bit of stones. He just missed that whole meme.
I
Stones.
know,
I
man.
forgot. Like the day you left, Ethan, a whole new meme was born.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's great. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased that I don't know what that means, but it's really funny when you say it randomly.
I
So
don't-
I guess what I do not want is context. So please. keep going.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
funny. Does anybody even know what that is? Because was that
No,
part
no.
of the Kenilworth Castle video, Tyler, or not?
Did I
Well, I
what?
Because it was when we went to the castle. When you edit that
Yeah.
video, was it in the video or not?
No, not the start, not like the opening, because the sound was fucked at that bit. We talked about the bit of stones,
Okay.
but it was all the memes all in there.
Okay. So people don't really
Okay,
get it,
like
but
the line-
like.
You've explained too much already, so please explain the bit of stones, please.
I don't even know I came up with
Okay,
that
I know what
story.
happened. So me and George were walking through this bit. So we all went to go see a castle. Me, George, Tyler, and Elba.
Yeah, yeah.
Kenilworth
full
Castle,
vlog.
to be
Felt
precise.
really sad.
And we went into this bit. And I think it was meant to be like a big hall or something, like a throne room or something. And the entire thing was just pebbles, just like stones on the ground. That was the whole thing. And there was like 4 broken pillars. And we were talking, I don't remember, me and George were talking about like guards being on duty somewhere. And then George just goes, like, I don't know, he was just doing the Your Raptor voice. And then he just talks about like we were talking about like where would the guards go when they're on break or whatever, and George is like, I'm gonna go on my break, just have a smoke, gonna go to the bit of stones. And I'm like, the bit of stones, and it was just like that room that we were in.
That's fucking.
Like
that's
the
fucking
people in the
funny.
castle should refer to it as the bit of stones. So dumb.
And
what
then
you
we were
tell-
talking about like the place to get max XP is the bit of
Yeah.
stones.
You got to get the max XP. You got to go to the bit of stones.
Oh, it's so fucking great.
Thing is, though, it would just imagine that bit of stones.
the bit
That's
of
just
Oh,
stones.
it's so
location.
retarded.
Where are you off
And
to,
bit
mate?
of
I'm just
stones
after the bit of stones.
I'm just
mate.
after the bit of stones. We need to go back to Kenilworth Castle with everybody. We've got to go to the bit of stones.
And
Everyone
then-
should. I tell you what.
Terrified,
If you live in England, go visit Kenilworth Castle at some point. It's a pretty good time. Go find the bit of stones and take a picture there and send it to us on
It's
Twitter.
very decent. It's a decent little bit of stones.
You will
It
actually
is.
get someone to do that, you know. Someone will do it.
What if they go to the wrong bit of stones though?
Who knows?
Well, then they're clearly not worthy.
Listen, if they go to the right bit of stones, then you know it's just what it is.
They
Sounds
go
like
to the
great
wrong one, they
fun.
go to the right one. Don't
I
matter
don't
which
even
one,
know
at
what
least
the
it's a
right
bit of
one is.
stones.
Bit
It's
of
in the Great
stones.
Hall.
The Great Hall.
It's like
Yeah,
a
I've
big
never been to
hall.
the,
It's like got the
of the
roof is
Kenilworth
missing.
Castle.
There's 4 broken pillars in the room or something.
4 broken pillars, you say? So
Yeah.
you're telling us weren't the only ones. What happened there then?
It was the,
What
the
happened
pillars
to
of
the last
old
4
on the bit of stones.
The ancient four pillars.
The ancient four pillars on the bit of
Just don't
stones.
spell them. Okay, well,
Fucking
you've
retarded.
It was
I'm
so
losing my mind.
stupid. It was so stupid.
It was such a weird
But we just-
day. Like Tyler hit peak autism that day as well. It was like
Yeah,
climbing
yeah,
bits
I
of
did. I
like
did.
it was like 700-year-old rocks, and Tyler just climbing up and saying "gamer." It was great.
I was just like, I just randomly, you just see me run up and just like, gamer.
Sort of vaulting over.
Vault,
there.
yeah, we got
Hang
Tyler
on a
to like
minute.
try and vault over that bit of wall, and he like fell over and did like this roll on the ground.
It didn't look like a fall. It looked more like a fucking scuffle.
It was like
Like,
it was
a
like an
tactical
eject.
fall.
Like he jumped and then just
Yes.
went stiff and just.
I just
fell to the
bailed out.
ground.
I was just like, you know what?
What,
I'm
what,
not
what,
doing
what
this.
kind of vault were you going for, though, Tyler?
I don't, you know what? Couldn't tell you.
Was
You know
it
what,
was
I-
it where your legs were going through your arms?
It's artistic.
I don't.
A
Look,
monkey
man.
vault,
I don't know. I don't know what to
because
tell
they're
you.
difficult.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
It was
I wish.
great.
I wish I knew. I
Bring
really
your
wish
legs
I
out to
knew.
the side. It's much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
It was good
I
fun.
don't know, man.
We had a good time at the Bit of Stones, but that was the Bit of Stones. What the fuck were we talking about?
We're talking about
Uh,
Marvel.
I'm talking about Marvel, and now we've wound up.
How
on
the
a different
fuck did this happen?
You're welcome.
I think we talked about like Doctor Strange and like he'd show up and he was cool.
And then I brought up Bit of Stones. I fucked up. That's
yeah,
my bad.
that was your fault.
Yeah, no, I needed to understand that, even if I didn't really want to begin with.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
twice today I've had to explain a meme. Today, earlier on Cinema Room, I had to explain the Gamers Rise Up, We Live in a Society meme.
Actually, do explain that meme,
That was quite funny.
please.
You want to explain it again? I've already explained it once today. I can explain it again though, I guess. It's just it
What
came
meme?
from the Gamers Rise Up Joker Live in a Society meme.
Sometimes
Yeah.
we gotta live in a society.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memes. I love it. It just
I
it
remember,
doesn't.
but like people have been
I
bringing it
don't
up, and I never got it. Like people were even sending me the meme, like when I said it on a Clubhouse recently, and people
No,
were
I
sending
didn't
it to me because I said the meme, but I was just saying it.
Like we live in a
And
society.
it wasn't a meme.
Yeah.
I just was making a joke because Mark, who has long fucking hair, and I was like, he needs to shave it. You look like an animal, and I'm like, we live in a society. You need to fucking cut your hair.
Yeah,
And
it's like we
James
live in a
started
society
losing
where you
it.
can't have hair that long or something like that.
Yeah. And James just started losing it. And then people were sending my face on the Joker, saying we live in a society. And like, Amir put my face on the Joker and goes, when you bring me out, can you introduce me with big shoes? Like, I'm like, I don't get it at all, but I'm not even going to pretend I do get it so I don't have to ask.
Introduce me
Oh,
as
that's
Big
fucking
Shoes.
amazing.
It's so
Yeah.
great. It's one of my favorite memes. I absolutely love it. And that's so you didn't get it when because Colin said it once. He said we live in a society when he came on our podcast the very first time.
Was that a joke? Was that a meme?
No, he just said it in a normal sentence because it's
That's
such a
so
normal
fucking
thing
funny.
to sometimes say as well. So he just said it, and I was trying not to laugh on the podcast, but afterwards I was like, "That's so fucking funny." Colin said we live in a society on the Kill Connor
Oh,
podcast.
what the fuck? Why is he doing that, man? You should have told him. You should have said,
Oh.
Colin, you fucked up there, mate.
We live in a society. Oh, it was so funny. It's my favorite
You know,
meme.
I don't-
It makes no sense.
I honestly don't think any extent of explanation is going to make me get this one. So, shall we move back on?
It's the best.
Yes.
Just go on knowyourmeme.com and read up.
Google knowyourmeme.com. We live in a society.
You'll
you
find
already
me.
have it up?
I live in a cave.
I thought you
Know Your
already had
Meme.
knowyourmeme.com up then for a second.
No, I've just got it up now. We live in a society is a series of images that compare two similar things, one popular and the other under-acknowledged but complex using Photoshop social media reactions. The image is also captioned with the phrase, we live in a society, implying that the cultural conception and opinion is wrong. The format, however, is not to be confused with the phrase, we live in a society commonly found in the Gamer Joker memes. That's what I want to know about.
That's the one we want. We want the Gamer Joker memes. That's the best.
It's highlighted like it's a fucking link, but it's not.
I literally know where the.
I can't
like-
talk any more about this meme. I've had it explained to me twice, and I still don't get it.
This
nor
one,
do I think it's
okay.
funny.
This one's my favorite one. Let me read you this meme. So it's a picture of the Joker, and the top text says, "Let's put it this way, since you don't seem to understand." And then the bottom text says, "Gamers through rigorous amounts of training have developed more stamina than the average male, aka your boyfriend. That means prolonged ejaculation and harder erections last longer in bed equals more powerful orgasms for the both of us, and possibly even female ejaculation. Don't believe me? You'll never know if you don't try." It's on top
That's
of
what
that.
that's
What?
all of
What?
gamers.
Like,
Okay,
that's-
that's enough.
And it's got a
Fuck that.
picture of the Joker as like the fucking
Yeah.
meme. Honestly, that probably comes from like old memes where people would like make something that was like, I don't know, a meme that's talking about like a pet peeve or something. That's like, oh, don't do this because it annoys me. And there's a picture of a Joker
Apparently.
like putting his hands up or something like that.
Apparently, it came from this meme. It was posted on Reddit, and it's a picture of the Joker, and the text over the top just says, "When the nice guy loses his patience, the devil shivers," and that's the meme. Apparently, that's where it came from.
What?
It's,
And then everyone just started
so
memeing the
weird.
shit out of it, like, oh, you fucking incel. Gamers rise up. We live in a society. Chads and Veronica. Now it's reached the point that it is now,
There's a picture.
where people are literally fucking putting meme notices outside Joker viewings, going, "Oh, you can only come in if you've got fucking a significant
that's-
other. You
yeah, I didn't
can't.
get
Not allowed."
Oh god, there's
Honestly,
a
did not
picture
get
of the
that.
Joker and Harley Quinn, and it says, "This could be us, but you friend zone me 10 times, 10 fucking times, Veronica. When will you learn to love a gentleman gamer instead of going after dumb jocks, bitch? Gamers rise up." And it's really impact
Tell you
font.
what. I tell you what. I'm yet to see the Joker, but I'm gonna experiment and go alone just to see what reaction I get when I buy the ticket. And if they say anything related to this meme, someone's getting knocked the fuck out. Okay?
They'll go,
That's
"You're
what's
clearly a
happening.
gamer. You're clearly a gamer, mate." That's what they
Yeah.
all say.
No, but
It's
someone's
not
getting
like
knocked
that.
the fuck out because I just don't get it.
It's got different types of gamers classified as Joker. So, like, Jared Leto is the new school gamer that plays Fortnite and PUBG. You've got the old school gamer that's Heath Ledger, and he plays Modern Warfare 2 and Angry Birds. And then you've got the ancient gamer that's Jack Nicholson, and he plays Halo 3 and COD 4. And then the bit underneath it says, "Whether young or old, brand new or classic, we are all gamers. We snipe our enemies, complete our quests, and most of all, we get shit done." I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't mess with us.
So hang on a minute. So you're telling me that like a Mark Hamill Joker would be just sat there playing Pong or something?
Oh god, yeah, I hope so. But you're still a
Oh,
gamer at the end of the day.
Oh, it's my
Yeah.
favourite. I fucking love it. What a meme. There's
That's
no...
really
It's
chuckle.
so good. Oh, it's so
There's
good.
no reason for this to exist. There's
It's
no
such an
why would-
old
why
meme
would-
too. Like, it's been around for so many years, and somehow it's still
Oh, God.
funny. I love it. It's the meme that doesn't die.
No.
Gamers rise up. We live in a society.
There's a meme that just sleeps, and I wish it stayed asleep.
Well, it's because like yesterday I was at the cinema to see Joker. I tweeted this out, and we talked about it in the cinema room as well. But I'll say it again here. I was buying my ticket to see Joker, and I'm wearing a Marvel hat. So I guess this guy thought, I'm a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I've got my jawline, thick neck, massive shoulders. He didn't. He's like, "Oh, definitely a nerd." And he goes. I go, "Oh, I want to get a Joker, please." And he's like, "Great choice, man. Gamers rise up. We live in a society right now."
You're
Dead
way too
set.
enthusiastic for your job.
That is what he
Fuck
Did you
said.
just go, "What the fuck are you
I-
talking
I
about, man? I've
literally-
got big shoes, man."
Yeah, but like I'm sitting there like, people keep saying we live in a society right now and gamers rise up. Like I've seen it, but I don't know what it means. So like I know he's referencing something, and I'd literally seen it that day. Someone replied on cinema, "Are you doing Joker for cinema?" I said, "Yeah, we are." And then they replied with, "Yes, we live in a society." And I'd literally seen it that day. I'm like, what's happening right now? I'd seen it like 4 times in the last week. And then this fucking guy said it to me, and I kind of laughed, not sure if he really said it. And then Harlan, my brother, goes up afterwards and goes, "Yeah, took a joke." He's like, "Nice job, dude. Gamers rise up. We live in a society." And like he said it again, I'm like, "Oh my god, he did say that!" Like,
That's
and I was
so
losing my shit. I was
crazy.
Wait,
losing
he said
my
it to
mind.
everyone.
He said it to me and my brother. I don't, because Harlan's wearing a fucking Venom shirt. So I think he thought we were just like the right audience to say it to. And both of us like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude." And then we were so confused. We were
I wish the guy
so
at the cinema said
confused.
that to me. I loved
I'm
it
gonna
so
book my
much.
Joker ticket now, and it's gonna be on my own. I better get an email that says we live in a society. Very sad.
We live
I
in a
love how
If
they
I get that
society
email,
as
if that's in
well.
an email, I'll
fucking thing.
cry.
Oh,
Does Joaquin Phoenix say it in the movie?
we're gonna spoil the movie.
Don't
No,
say
no,
it.
no, no. We're not talking about
I'm
this.
not saying anything.
So he does. So he does say it.
will start spoiling things if we start talking about the Joker. And I don't even want to bring it
I
up.
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, well, that
That's good,
dude
though.
at the fucking cinema was like, "That's my local cinema now since I've moved. I've only been there a couple of times, but it's like right around the corner from my house. And now I kind of don't want to go there again."
I
I'm
want to go
like-
there.
No. Don't yeah, it's like, hey, bro, be embarrassed. You know what I mean?
No, it's great.
That-
Tyler, this is the problem, see. We live in a society, and you're enforcing that society on this man. This is why the gamers need to rise up. You're a fucking Chad, and you're trying to stop this gamer, this gentleman gamer that gave you your cinema tickets from memeing. And that's it. That's why we live in a society.
This
How long
is
is
this
it?
is the
How
world
long is
we're in, where people didn't like this kid didn't get bullied at school for doing this shit, so he thinks it's okay. When the reality is, he should have, so that he doesn't do it. I don't know what is wrong with our society right now, where that kid didn't get bullied. You know what I mean?
We live in a
Is it just
society,
me,
that's what it
guys,
is.
or am I out of touch?
Yeah, like, I can't say I would have said we live in a society to someone if I was giving him a cinema ticket, but I respect him for doing so. He's doing the gamer's work.
I fucking don't. He's ruining the meme. He's making locals part of the meme. Fuck these locals.
Getting the normies in on it.
Yeah, fuck the local normies.
I remember when normies used to be an unironic thing.
Yeah. Nah, fuck that. It's so... Imagine calling someone a
2016.
normie
Ugh.
and, like, genuinely being upset that they don't like the memes that you like.
I watch Leafy
Oh,
is Here,
you don't like
and I like
ironic
indie memes.
I like Harambe Bay. I like Harambe.
Harambe.
R.I.P.
Oh,
Harambe. So sad.
Fuck off.
Such Harambe.
Sometimes the
Much
things
wow.
that you boys say makes me cry, but I love it. How do you manage to sadden me?
Oh.
Ethan, the most sad man on planet Earth.
Oh, but that's MCU. Do we have anything else to talk about MCU?
Well,
It's not MCU.
I didn't even hit George answer the question.
Oh shit, we're talking
Well, the
about
question
Spider-Man
about
still.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, how you feeling now
Okay.
about Marvel with fucking Spidey back?
I feel great about Marvel. I kind of don't really care about a few of the properties that they've got and the few of the movies that are coming out, like Shang-Chi. I just don't really care that much.
I'm
Eternals, I
excited for
don't really
Shang-Chi.
care that much. But like, yeah, Spider-Man's back, so that's like all I really care about. Like, it was strange how as soon as I heard that Spider-Man was out of the MCU, I was like, fuck it, I don't want to watch any of this shit anymore. Like, I wasn't even really that excited for the Disney Plus shows. I was like, what's the point at this point? But now he's back, it has invigorated me a lot more with the love for the MCU.
Good stuff.
Yeah, well that's it. It's not like because it's not Iron Man or Cap anymore.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like Spider-Man's your kind of go-to now. But I mean, Falcon Winter Soldier, yeah, right. Like, there's some properties I'm not something I'm excited about, but I'll watch them. It's like because it's Marvel, and I want to see what's next and what's going on. Because I don't know a lot about Shang-Chi, so I don't know. But I'm excited. I don't know a lot about the Eternals, but I'm definitely gonna see it.
They
Isn't
really
Kit
haven't
Harington
nailed
in the
them, though.
Eternals?
No, it's
What's
bloody
he-
other bloke. Shit, what's his fucking name from Game of Thrones? Fucking, I'm drawing a blank. Rob Stark.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Rob Stark. Yeah.
What's his
That's
fucking
fine.
name?
Nah, Kit Harington has been cast in the Eternals, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's not. Wait. No, I
Yeah.
swear there was a. I
Yeah,
swear there was
he
a
is.
rumor that
Why
he's
it's
in the
shocking.
Eternals. Is he?
Why it's shocking Kit Harington accepted a role in Marvel's The Eternals.
But Richard, what is it like?
Oh, Richard Madden. That's what I'm
Richard.
thinking of.
I'm
yeah.
Madden,
Oh,
yeah.
imagine them in a scene together, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jon Snow and Rob
good point.
Stark. I love both the
Oh
actors
yeah,
anyway, I
Kit
mean,
Harington plays Black Knight.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Who
I just
is
remember
that?
I was following all the rumors and stuff. And I remember when it was a rumor that he was going to be in it as Black Knight, but I didn't remember it being confirmed. But it was
Hasn't Moon
confirmed.
Knight got a TV show?
Moon Knight's getting
TV
a.
show, yeah.
Why?
Because it's fucking
Why's
Moon Knight.
getting a TV show? We don't need a Moon
I
Knight
don't even
TV
know what Moon
show.
Knight is.
I
He's
mean, why
fucking
not?
Batman copy. That's what he is.
It could be fun. He is
Or
basically
maybe it
Batman.
will, but I don't think he's a
Yeah.
fun character. He's a little fucking depressed cunt.
Nah, I reckon.
He's just
I reckon
like-
there's some more to him.
He's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Look,
or
I don't
Silver
think
the
they
Hedgehog.
would do it if there wasn't some sort of plan to do it well. I don't know.
They're doing She-Hulk, James.
They are doing. Yeah, that is true. They are doing She-Hulk, and Ms. Marvel.
What the
And,
fuck is
they're
She-Hulk?
casting Ronda Rousey in it.
In what's that in? Oh,
Oh,
She-Hulk.
that actually was that
They're
just
not
a
actually,
rumor?
are they?
I fucking hope not. No. I fucking hope
Oh
not. I
god,
don't
she's
know.
an awful actor.
That'd be yeah.
I'm not surprised. She's not an actor.
God. There's some weird stuff. That's true. There is some weird stuff. Like She-Hulk, that is a weird one.
But the movies are, you know, they're gonna be good. Thor: Love and Thunder, like, come on.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Guardians 3, fuck yeah. Like shit like
2.
Black Panther 2, yeah. Doctor Strange 2, that'll be fun. Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, there's exciting times. We've got Spider-Man 3 as like our foundation. Everything else will be solid, you know, around it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Spider-Man 3 movie that won't be shit.
I'm kind of sick of these like Captain Marvel movies. Like, I just hope that Shang-Chi isn't like Captain Marvel, where it's just sort of okay, and like the only reason it's like kind of good to watch is because it's in the MCU. Like, I want genuinely good movies. I don't want these like sort of just like mediocre, like, yeah, it's good because it's part of the MCU, so it's a bit of fun. Like, I don't want those movies.
I don't know.
I'm sick of them.
Captain Marvel it wasn't even mediocre. I think it was just like when I first watched it, I was like, that wasn't even that bad. And looking back on it, it was just.
That's the same thing that happened with me, though.
No, I don't think it's cinema. Bad. I don't think it's bad. It wasn't cinema. It wasn't cinema. It wasn't cinema.
Okay. I've booked a ticket to see Joker tomorrow. Let's do that.
Nice.
Good job.
There you go. I'll get it done.
I want to watch it.
For the gamers, you got to rise up.
Yeah, you got to rise up.
It's just me on my ones.
You might lose your mind, actually, to be honest.
Imagine me losing my mind. Oh, what a travesty.
I tell you what, I
might see incel violence there.
To be honest, if I was watching that on my own, I think I would have been a little bit depressed coming out, to be honest with you. I would have felt some. I would have been like, I need to talk to someone.
Triggering content? I'll be in town, so I'll meet my mate Brad afterwards because he's about tomorrow, and we've already arranged to sort of meet at about 5ish, so it's no worries. So I'll just go out there like, no, I really want to kill people. And then,
yeah,
there'll be one right there.
Well, if there's anyone I know that would have that reaction, probably.
It's not me, actually.
No,
I come
I'm
out
joking.
of the films going, you know what, that's enough madness.
Ethan doesn't commit crimes, right?
Yeah,
no, I don't do.
He doesn't do crimes.
Shut the fuck up. What do you mean crimes? What do you mean? None of that. I do not allow this crime nonsense. Kill people.
Jesus. Well, to move on from being film connoisseurs and, you know, talking about real cinema like the MCU, let's talk about some epic gaming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like gaming.
I don't mind it. Don't do a lot of it, but you know, I don't mind it.
I like gaming.
You're such a fucking Chad. You're the society we live in.
Well, probably.
We all live inside Tyler.
Tyler's the society. The constraints of society.
You
think you're better than me, but what you don't know is that because I play so many games, I have much more stamina than you do, and I can please a girl a lot easier than you. So you want to fucking go? I'm a gamer.
Exactly.
That's right.
I've played the Lingering Will.
Yeah,
twice.
exactly.
You played the Lingering Will twice. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good for you.
What games?
You can tell that Tyler puts up with this daily. He's just like, oh, I'm fucking done.
What games?
I'm just so used to it. This is why, like, I've been separated from them for the last month and a half. But 2 weeks of them, I was full autistic. If they had said that, I would have been like, gaming.
I miss it. It was so much fun.
I went full autistic. You know that I'm back. I'm like reversing. Like I'm going harder in the paint. Opposite to that. I'm like, no. I am the society. You live inside me.
Yeah, so what's this gaming talk?
The Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us Part 2. We're the only two that have played The Last of Us 1 all the way through.
No, I've played The Last of Us 1, but I've played the first 2 hours.
That's what I said, all the way through. You and Ethan have both played the first few hours, and that's all you've played.
I've played about 6 hours now at this point.
Ethan's like playing through it, whereas you played 2 hours and just didn't touch it again.
It's literally been 3 years since I played it.
You need to at least play it before Last of Us 2 comes out, surely.
No, I will, obviously. When does The Last of Us 2 come out?
February 21st.
You should have laid down some conditions. You should have gone, I'll play The Last of Us if Tyler plays The Witcher 3. And just
Tyler never played The Witcher 3, have you?
Oh, no, anymore.
No.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, so I was correct. Yes.
Yep.
Those are the conditions. I'll boycott The Last of Us until you start playing The Witcher.
Well, I don't give two fucks really about if you play The Last of Us, so I don't care.
Yeah, exactly, because you've already played it. So I mean,
Yeah.
What the fuck
why
is
do you
that?
care
And
about me
also,
playing
like,
it?
I'm not some massive Last of
There's
Us
fucking
fan
Snapchat
anyway, like
filters just
compared
crashed
to
my
like.
phone.
What is that?
Hang on a sec.
The fuck is going on?
A Snapchat filter just crashed my phone. I have no idea what happened there. Let's restart that shit. I've got a hard reset it now, and I'm not happy.
Oh, this is my favourite
It's
Last of Us
kicked off
chat
with
in
some
the
really
world.
shit. music.
Okay,
I'm like,
listen.
no.
With regards to The Last of Us, what are we going to talk about? Because George and Ethan haven't finished the game, so we can't really talk about speculations because it'll spoil the first game.
Oh my god! What? I don't give a fuck.
Oh my
Mate,
god!
You're just gonna spoil it.
Please don't.
You're just gonna up and
It's the only
spoil
game that I
The
care
Last of
about.
Us. Well, let's talk gameplay wise. Have you seen the new gameplay?
Well, let's talk gameplay. Two, let's talk not even speculation. I just want to talk about the last. I just want to say this. I've said it before. I'm excited for The Last of Us Part 2 a lot because I know how good Uncharted 4 was, like technically speaking, graphics, gameplay mechanics, the way the narrative flowed into the gameplay, like that's exciting. But I'm more excited for another Uncharted game than The Last of Us Part 2.
Sure. I mean, I'm not, but that's all right. We can.
Yeah, I
disagree.
just
We're
mean
still friends.
I'm with George and Ethan, like Ethan saying he'll play if I play Witcher 3, he'll play Last of Us. I'm like, well, Last of Us, I don't give a
I actually
fuck
just
about.
play The Last of Us anyway. So,
Yeah, you can play it anyway, but I don't really give even a fuck about it. Like, I'm excited for Last of Us Part 2, and the Last of Us Part 1 was like, yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was amazing.
People telling me it's the best fucking thing ever, get fucked. It was
But
good.
I think you give it more shit than it deserves, because it's incredible. Like the way they do narrative and stuff. My biggest flaw is one of the flaws you pointed out, which is just the balance between downtime and the amount of action. And I think that's its flaw. But I mean that's a flaw of like Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 3. Uncharted 2 does it a bit better. And so
Uncharted
4
2's
nails it. But
Yeah,
you know,
but that's why I'm
Uncharted-
excited for 2, because I expect it to be like 4, right?
Yeah, you'd think so. Give us a lot more.
The thing is with
downtime.
Naughty Dog games, it is like they just they get better every single time. Like Uncharted 4 was better than Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us Part 1. It's like they always work on the way they develop their games, not just like one series, but they always like improve on the way they develop every game they make. So I think 2 will be the pinnacle of their game design, I think.
Maybe,
anyway.
but I just hate zombie games, and everyone told me for years before I played The Last of Us isn't a zombie game, and then I played it, I'm like, well,
It fucking
it's
is.
definitely a fucking zombie game.
Yeah, I
isn't
don't
it?
think that's
Yeah,
the
I
right
think
way of
there's so
describing
much-
it, to be honest
there's
with you,
so much
because it is a
zombie
zombie
killing in it.
game. But I think
Yeah.
I think the zombie genre is so oversaturated, and it's so
I hate it.
difficult
I
to
fucking
achieve
hate it.
zombie stuff. It's not something that I don't like. I mean, there's some people
I
that
despise
see a
zombie
new
stuff.
zombie game and they think, oh my god, yeah, new zombie game, can't wait. I don't care. Like, I really just don't care. It doesn't.
I'd
like,
When it comes
rather
to-
be dead.
the genre to me doesn't.
What, you wouldn't be interested in
anything
Dead
for me.
Island 2?
No,
I'm not
fuck that
interested in
shit.
zombie games.
I don't care.
What do you mean?
It was fine.
Dead,
Like, Dead
Island
Island
was
was fine.
fucking amazing.
The game itself isn't that good. The reason I liked it so much
Dead
is because I
Island
had
was
so much fun
amazing.
playing it with people. But it's not. But I could do that on any
Is that
game.
not like all that matters?
No,
though?
but it's not the
Like,
game though. It's
It
just
was
the
a silly
people.
game. It was a silly game,
But
but I
don't-
mean, it was
zombie
also.
games
I
aren't
thought it
that
was
good. Like, I don't know.
in terms of zombie RPGs that are not really done that often. I think Dead Island was a good first
Dead Island
attempt.
was one
It
of the best ones. Yeah, like it was
silly.
It's not bad at all.
It
but-
was silly. It was a game where you could just fuck around, but it was also it was great.
But I think what The Last of Us does is it manages to, like, this backdrop isn't. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird. I guess you need the backdrop. Like, you kind of have to have the backdrop to set up the story that they've got and the characters and all that stuff. But the way that they handle character, the way they handle, like, I mean, writing for these characters is so fucking. It's incredible. The way that Ellie is written like, how old is she? 14? A 14-year-old girl. She's written just like a 14-year-old girl. Like, she doesn't feel like it's some, like, old men in suits writing children. Like, she feels so real and realistic in the way that she interacts with things, the way she understands things, the way she talks to Joel, and the way that Joel reacts to things. Like, their relationship and the way that it grows and changes is just so fucking compelling. My main issue is just with the balance of gameplay. That's the biggest flaw I see. Whereas I'm so, like, I think I prefer Ellie and Joel's story to that of the Uncharted games, purely because the more shut the fuck up. I prefer the more grounded, story-driven, character-focused stuff. Whereas, like, it's close because I love Nate, Sully, Elena, Sam, Chloe, you know, all those people. I love them all so much. But there's something like The Last of Us hits me so much harder in that like there's so many amazing scenes in The Last of Us that just are so well put together and well written, performed and directed, and it's incredible. The vibe and atmosphere is great as well. Look, the first 20 minutes of the game is just immediately it hits you. It's like you've known these characters for 20 minutes, and no other game could really achieve what they did over the whole length of the game. Like it's such a tough thing to do.
That's the only section of
my God,
any game that's made me cry, and like not even Kingdom Hearts has been able to bring me to tears. Yeah, the beginning bit where his daughter dies and shit like that. That bit was so well done.
It's the raw acting where he's just like he's panicking and he's like trying to calm her down and calm himself down, and she's like dying. Like it's so real and so well done. It's like fuck, like it all happens so quick, and you just feel for Joel, and it's like Jesus Christ. It's so fucked.
I thought it was sad, but like, nah. It didn't hit me like that. God. The same way. It did not hit me the same way at all. I just was like, yeah, that's sad. That's a sad story point, but I didn't care about him yet. I was like, yeah, that's sad.
The reason I cared, though, is just because they set him up. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just the performance is so realistic that I'm already connecting with him as if he's like a real person. I'm like, I just feel so much empathy for him because they've already convinced me that he's a real person. And like the way that she dies and the way that he reacts feels just like such raw human emotion that I'm like, that doesn't feel like acting. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a video game. Like it just felt like I'm really watching someone like panic because their daughter's dying, and that is what hit me. And it just sort of stuck with me. And like, there's so many moments. Like, I don't want to spoil some moments later into the game, but like stuff between Joel and Ellie. Like Ellie really trying to express herself and like pushing Joel's buttons, like maybe accidentally, but also on purpose sometimes as well, and like them getting into arguments, and there's so many incredible moments. There's a moment that I would say, but it's a spoiler and I don't want to spoil it, but it's such a fucking incredible experience. I absolutely love The Last of Us, and I can't
want to
wait
stream
for
it.
Part 2. Oh,
yeah, I've been streaming it from start to finish.
That'd be good, because then you could get your reactions to all of the big moments.
That's what I've been doing. I've been streaming. I've streamed about 3 parts, so I'm 6 hours deep.
Mm-hmm.
How long is the game, would you say?
It's not that long. It's like 15 hours, maybe.
Do you reckon I could do it in one stream?
Probably not, no.
Fuck.
I reckon you just wouldn't quite make it.
Okay.
It's between 12 and 16 hours long, but I reckon it'll probably take you about 14, 15 hours.
Also, the gameplay will drive you mad at some point, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
You don't want to play it on the hardest difficulty, because it
I already
ruins
made that
the
mistake.
game. It ruins the pace.
Already made that mistake before.
Yeah, those games aren't meant to be played like that. They're meant to be played so that like you get a bit of challenge from the gameplay, but like you don't want to like die at a key moment and have to replay a set piece over and over again, because it just takes the tension and emotion out of it.
It does ruin it. Yeah, it definitely.
It's
does.
probably
I think
best
they're
to
made
play
for
on
replay value, if anything.
Yeah,
I probably will. I probably will. Because I made the mistake before of playing on like the realistic difficulty where you don't have the surround sense thing where you can see through walls and shit, and like you don't have that, and like you die in about 2 shots and shit. It was so fucking hard.
Horrible. Like the gameplay itself is pretty rigorous just on normal. Like it just pisses you off a little bit sometimes, where like you'll fail a stealth section or you'll get fucked up by some enemies. And it's like fucking hell.
Thing is, I'm so impatient when it comes to stealth. Like I sit there and I want this dude to turn his back, and I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna like try and exploit it and like run out of his cone of vision, and I end up fucking it up.
Yeah, you gotta take.
That's like you talking. I remember that you are impatient. Like I remember you talking about in like your Origins review, of like how the stealth sucked. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Did you not just use Senu and target everyone and take it really slow?
Yeah, it's just long. I can't be arsed. Well, especially when every
the
stealth
doesn't
is the same.
Suck, you suck.
You just suck at the game.
In the video, I literally said, "Tell me if I'm bad at it," but like, I mean, I just don't personally get much enjoyment out of it because it like didn't feel that rewarding. It was just like, these enemies are dead. I could have killed them another way, which would have been quicker. So,
yeah, no, I'm quite similar. I just do the most efficient thing.
See, I like just sitting and waiting in the shadows and then just killing all of them and nobody knowing. It's fucking great.
Oh, that can be fun.
Much like real life, James.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
All the time in real life.
Well, you wouldn't know if I did or didn't, but
I'm so good. I do enjoy being kind of like a ghost in these like games where you're just going about killing people.
Batman
and then they're all a bit confused. What the fuck's going on? And then you take someone else out, and they're like, shit, I think you're gone.
They're like quite the.
It's also something that I've noticed in certain combating games as well. You can break the line of sight by going around corners, and then you can attack them from behind and things.
Yeah,
which I think you can do in The Last of Us in certain areas. No, The Last of Us is the example, which I did it most recently. There was a pillar, and there was this guy who was shooting at me. So I ran around this pillar. And then I sort of stuck behind cover. Jesus, it was probably Tyler. And then this guy was walking along, and he had his gun out, and he was looking to where I was last seen. So then I went behind him and just strangled him, and it was great. I felt really good.
It's a very heavy game, isn't it? It feels like grounded as fuck.
Yeah, I like it. The only thing I would want out of The Last of Us is more moments where you and Ellie are just talking to each other, because
that's what I want.
They do it sometimes. Like towards the end of the game, they do a lot. They do quite a large portion of it, which I really liked. But there's some other bits where you'll be like walking along and you'll be talking, then it's like, oh, and there's a load of zombies or there's a load of enemies, and it's like, don't break that. Like, I don't need that. I could just walk for like an hour just talking about things, exploring. Like, I don't need constant action. And I think Naughty Dog get that now. But I think they didn't
some
get
people
that.
would hate that though.
There was
some
way
people
too
would
much action.
fucking hate that.
Some people do hate that, but it doesn't
that.
matter now, because I think Red Dead has proved it and Uncharted 4 has proved it that it doesn't matter. But you'll find an audience for it.
You can walk for an hour.
Yeah.
I'd get fucking bored of that.
You could never walk for more than 4 or 5 minutes the whole Last of Us without something fucking having happened. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm not saying you would just walk for an hour in like a straight line. I'm saying like there'd be no enemies. I'm saying you'd be exploring,
like a set piece, like
looting
a parkour
things.
set piece.
Maybe you'd solve some puzzles.
Well.
You'd climb things, and all that time it'd be Joel and
Ellie
Ellie talking to each other. It's just
puzzles.
It's like when they throw fighting at you, characters can't talk to each other. But when you do puzzles, when you do climb, like it's what Uncharted does so well. It's like, here's a climbing puzzle, here's a puzzle that you've got inside of like a tomb or something. And then during that time, like you've got when Nate first finds the Battalia with Sam, they have like a whole section where you're just exploring and they're talking and you're looking around. There's optional dialogue, and it's like, it doesn't need to just throw combat at you. It's like, just enjoy this moment with these characters. And I think Naughty Dog gets that. That's why people love their games. Yeah, God of War too.
It's like Atreus and fucking Kratos. They have a lot of sections like that, which I loved them a lot.
That's what I want from Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a few sections. I've played a few sections in The Last of Us where it is like Ellie and Joel just walking along, and it's nice. It's character exposition, which you want to know about.
Something frustrating always happens. It's the case of it. It is a game that structures itself in inconvenience you for inconvenience sake sometimes.
Yeah, it's like characters are talking, a lot of games do. And you'll know, like they'll be talking to you and you're like, something is going to happen in a minute. Like they're not just going to get to talk and walk through this room. It's not going to just be a successful travel or exploration. Something is always going to happen. Someone's going to fall down some stairs, or there's going to be a zombie that's going to jump out, or there'll be, there's an army of like a group of militia in here, and we're going to overhear them and then have to fight them. Like, there's never just a moment of just rest where you can just take in your surroundings and the characters.
That's a shame.
And that's the biggest flaw The Last of Us has, but I mean, Uncharted 1 to 3 had that as well. Uncharted 2 manages it a lot better than 1 and 3. But Uncharted 2 still has it. Uncharted 4 to me is the only Naughty Dog game that's really nailed it, where you can have these long periods where you've just got climbing.
But I preferred the set pieces of Uncharted way more than Last of Us. Because Last of Us, like Ethan said, it inconveniences you for inconvenience sake in some way. Whereas like in Uncharted, something interesting happens. There's an interesting puzzle or a mystery or something. This is just like, oh, I fell. Oh no, Ellie, I'll have to help you. And it's like, I fucking... No, you know what I mean?
It's just it's like, I fell down the stairs and the stairs are broke.
And just for me personally, who hates zombie shit, there's nothing worse than a story exposition moment happening. They're like, oh my god, there's a clicker. I'm like, kill me. I'd rather be fucking dead than play this bullshit. Like, and I know it sounds like I hate it. I actually really enjoyed The Last of Us. It's the best zombie game I've ever played, but I hate every other zombie game.
Yeah, it's got some.
I hate zombie shows. I hate zombie movies. I hate zombies.
What, do you hate like the original like George Romero zombie movies and stuff?
All of them. All of
them. Really?
All of them.
Ooh.
Nothing more uninteresting than they're like, we can't develop any sort of enemy or villain that's interesting, so we're just going to make it be just flesh-eating mindless beasts. Dead people. Oh, Nothing.
They don't need to have a personality.
Boring. Nothing.
Well, that's like the original horror trope, I suppose, isn't it? It comes from like vampires, comes from gothic horror as well, stuff like that.
I mean, it's the most mundane of a lot, because it's like, if you think about it, it's not even that hot, like in horror. It's not even that scary these days. It's like, well, you can just kill them again. So what's the problem? They're just walking about like fucking spastics.
Yeah, modern zombies are shit.
I don't know. Like, I feel like zombies should always be used as a background element. Like, if you want to have zombies be a plot point and have that be why the world is like fallen into disarray, then your main goal and the main plot or the main conflict shouldn't be the zombies. That should just be the state of the world. And then you've got these characters that are like that's. I mean, that's what The Last of Us does well. I think is you've got the main villains you've got are like these human type enemies, and you've got some like minor villains in there and conflicts and stuff, but the main point is the journey of Joel and Ellie is really the point. And like they're like, it's sort of like I don't know, it's like a piece about humanity and about sort of like the choices that would be presented to you, and were the circumstances different, what would you choose? And that comes into play a few times in The Last of Us, but I think that's the main thing it does and achieves very well.
I think The Last of Us, it does something where they're not actually zombies. And when I was playing it, I was like, yesterday, I was a bit frustrated at this zombie session. I was like, God, I fucking hate zombie games. And someone in the chat said they're not zombies, and I was like, but they fucking are.
Stupid thing is like, actually, they're just infected. It's like, yeah, but they're okay.
Just in the flood aren't zombies. Like, you know, but they are that.
Yeah, it's
though,
just a different type of zombie.
Yeah.
Like, surely they're not. Yeah, they're not.
Pretty much.
Sure, they're not undead. I get it. Yeah, technically they're not, but like, yeah, they're zombies though, aren't they? Like, they are zombies.
It's like I Am Legend. It's like going on. They're not zombies. They're actually vampires because they got the serum that cures cancer, which actually infected them. So technically they're not zombies. They're something else. But they act exactly the same. They serve the same purpose. Therefore, they are.
Yeah, it's the
that's
same
the trope
as a zombie.
that they fall under.
Doesn't matter.
You know?
If you're going to be pedantic about what they're technically called, it doesn't matter. The point is still the same. So it's dumb.
And people ask you, it's like, well, you know, imagine being that real situation. Oh, a real situation where there'd be zombies and a zombie apocalypse. Do you want to know where you would be and where I would be if that happened? We'd already be dead. So I don't give a fuck what fucking Will Smith is doing in a post-apocalyptic world in which I'm already dead. It doesn't matter.
I Am Legend's really good though.
I do love that movie though. Yeah, I do love that movie. It's great.
I really like it.
That's just because I'm a sucker for zombie movies personally. If they're bad, then I don't like them. But if they actually are decent and have some creativity,
really, if they're bad, you don't like them. But if they're decent,
well, I mean,
then
some people love their bad zombie movies. You know,
some people like bad movies. I've never really understood that, to be honest. I don't like it. If a movie's bad, I just don't like it.
Yeah, no, I'm quite similar. I don't like bad films.
They just piss me off if something's bad. I'm like, why would you make something so shit? Like, just make a good film. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not hard to make a good zombie movie. It might be shit
to you. It might be shit to you, but not to someone else, though. People might like...
Good for them.
Shit.
They can enjoy it. They can fucking enjoy it. They can enjoy fucking Zombieland. I don't know. Is that fucking
I like Zombieland. It's not that bad.
You would. Nah, the trailer for that new one was alright, actually. Yeah,
I don't think it's not a genuine zombie movie, really, is it? Though it's like a comedy first and foremost.
Yeah, I know. I quite like the trailer for that new one actually. So,
and I like Jesse Eisenberg as well.
Yeah, I like Woody Harrelson. He's good.
I do like Woody Harrelson.
I don't know why I gave that example. But my point is just that
but people were using it's not technically a zombie game to defend it, in the fact that I was there like this is just tedious. This little section. I mean, I'm sure the game is great because you'll say it's great, but there are moments in it where you think, well, we could have avoided that, but we didn't.
It's the gameplay. It's the fault of the game, the gameplay structure, the balancing of it, and everything.
And there are some points where I just want to facepalm into a coma
when
it lays down a running inconvenience. For example, early on in the game, Ellie discloses that she can't swim, and I was like, of course you fucking can't. It's half the game.
Yeah.
Well, but even still, I think my thing is some of it isn't the gameplay balancing. Some of it is just like it's a zombie game, so there's zombie bits in it, and I don't like zombie games with zombie bits. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all. Sometimes it's just I don't like it. It's
Sure.
nothing that's wrong with it. Some of it was just I didn't like it. But like I do like Last of Us, and I am excited for Last of Us Part 2 because I expect it to be of the quality of Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy, which are both two of the best games of the generation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm excited for it. I just
In
can't
terms
wait
of
to see
the
improvements
gameplay,
made.
the gameplay looks incredible from that trailer. Do you want to talk a bit about the gameplay because we kind of skipped over that, James?
Yeah, I mean the gameplay is looking really nice. I like the changes they've made. I mean, playing as Ellie means that we've got there's different things we can do. Like they've got we saw it in the original demo and in this new gameplay that's coming out. Like if there's cracks in walls and it's wide enough, Ellie can slip through, whereas Joel wouldn't have been able to. And like through like shelves inside of like shops and stuff. Which is nice. Ellie can also go prone, so that makes stealth a little bit easier, like on the fly, so you don't have to find like a hide spot or anything. It's like if there's grass and you lay down, it's like you're going to be hidden, which is really cool. That's a nice element that they've introduced. On top of that, there's also the new dogs, which are new, like it's sort of like a new guard type thing. So even if you're hidden and you're silent, if there's a dog, it'll be able to sniff you out. So you're going to have to watch out for that and try and take out the dogs. But what they've done is that just normal guards, if you kill just like someone that's patrolling and someone tries to contact them or finds them, they've all got names and they all know each other, so they're going to be upset or like they're going to be angry and they'll be like, oh, this guy just died, and so it adds a little bit of an emotional layer there. But the same is there with dogs. So if you kill a dog, the owner is going to be upset that you've killed the dog and go to check on their dog.
Holy
and vice
shit.
versa. So
Killed.
if you kill the human, the dog is going to go and check if the owner's okay and be confused because it's just a dog and they're like, why is my owner dead? And like that adds another emotional layer to the gameplay that you're playing. It's like, do you try and avoid getting into those conflicts or do you just like engage in it, and then it's a bit sad in that regard. So I mean that's cool. It's just one of those things that adds another layer to it that's like it's more than just what other games are doing in terms of stealth. Like it just adds that other layer on top that just sort of puts it up there with some of the games that have all those small details and stuff, which is really nice, and I like that. But I'm not sure in terms of the game. I mean, they've got bigger areas as well to explore. So rather than it being very linear with just like a room here or there, it's like they've got these bigger open areas. So there's a lot more places to go in to explore.
It's like Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
How they tried to have that bit of a set piece that it's not for the whole game. Once you leave, but it's a bit of an open space where you get to explore a
so
bit.
you'll have bigger areas. So there's a lot of other areas you can go to maybe find some extra notes, ammo, loot, and stuff like that, and stuff you can accomplish, like little side stories and stuff. Not like side quests, but like they've got side stories that you'll be able to sort of uncover. Maybe someone died in a house and maybe you can uncover the mystery behind it, sort of thing. So there's a bit more to it in these open spaces than there was in the previous game, which I mean is because we're on the generation after, so there's a lot more they can do with it. I'm trying to think what else there was. There's a new like clicker zombie archetype thing that like sprays out like toxic gas or something.
Oh, can't wait. Yep.
So has that been for the first however many years of the outbreak?
Hey, look, it happened over time. Don't worry. It's 20 years and they've invented like clickers came about, and then another like I don't know 5 years, and these things have shown up.
There's like a new mutation.
I guess
what's
so.
the time?
I do
what's
find
the
it
time
weird.
difference between Last of Us 1 and 2?
5 years. So Ellie's 19 in this game.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this game looks more cinematic than anything I've ever seen. It looks crazy.
It looks really nice. Yeah.
It all looks
nice.
so immersive when she's like stalking through the rundown city with the bow and just like in the long grass and on the horse. Like it just, it all looks so fucking nice and
Yeah, it looks really
amazing.
good. And it looks like as well from the trailer they're sort of upping some horror aspects of it. So rather than it sort of, because I felt that zombies weren't scary in The Last of Us, it was just sort of like a thing to overcome. Whereas it looks like in this game, they're almost like maybe doing, instead of like you enter a room and it's like there's 5 zombies, sneak around and take them out, it's like you open a door and like maybe one jumps out at you, or like you can hear a noise coming from behind a door and you're not sure what's behind it, and it increases tension, and maybe there's one clicker or something, rather than having these, they'll still have there's a few enemies, stealth around, take them out, or maybe get into open combat, but I think they're doing a little bit more with the horror elements of it than they did in The Last of Us, which I think is a good thing. It's sort of what they did with Uncharted 4. They honed in a bit more on being cinematic than they did on just constant shooting galleries. So whereas in Uncharted 2, it'd be like you get to a point, you do combat, you do some climbing, there's a set piece, more combat. In Uncharted 4, it was like they do a lot more cinematic stuff. It's like maybe you get into a one-on-one fight and then you're in a set piece and then you've got a bit where you're talking to someone, and it's like they don't focus always on here's 10 enemies, they've all got assault rifles, hide behind a rock and shoot them sort of thing. So I think they've got the pacing and structure and everything better in The Last of Us Part 2, but I think that's everything we know from the gameplay so far. I mean, there's stuff returning like crafting and bow and arrow.
Yeah, I think the inherent thing that Uncharted has story-wise that's superior to The Last of Us, at least the first story, was the first story is we've got to get from point A to point B. That is what The Last of Us is about. Mm-hmm. You're taking Ellie somewhere. And then everything that happens in between is just like an inconvenience, like, well, fucking, let's just get there. Whereas in Uncharted, you're solving a mystery so that every step there's a progression. At the end of a bit, you get a new lead. You find more information and you find something else. What's next? So there's always a payoff to chapters of the story. Whereas The Last of Us is a bit more of an A to B from start to finish for 15 hours.
But I think the point is different though. Like in The Last of Us, the point you only have A to B, like that's the goal, so that you can get Joel and Ellie together. And the point is that everything that happens to them on their journey develops them as characters. It's more of like a character focused like thing. The whole point is just to develop two characters and show how they respond to each other, how they interact with each other, and how that affects their goal. Because the goal isn't really the important bit. The goal doesn't really matter. That's just sort of like a thing that is happening so that you can have the two of them together and show their development, which is something that I really, really like. I like both structures. Like, I like both things. I just think they're two different games trying to do two different things. And I think it depends on the day to which I prefer. Because if I've been playing Uncharted, I'll be like, oh my god, I fucking love these characters and the story. I love it so much. But if I play The Last of Us, I'll be like, god, I love Joel and Ellie so much. I think way better. So I think it just depends. I can resonate with both, and they're both very different. So, you know. I don't know. Someone put in the
Someone
chat.
just said, I was about to bring this up. Do you know what else is A to B? God of War, which is your favorite game of all time. God of War is literally a copy of The Last of Us plot.
Oh, it's not a copy of the plot at all, is it?
Well, that's not true at all. You know, and you also get to the. You also get to the mountain within 3 hours of playing the game, and then it completely changes what the story's fucking about. It's not just about that. It becomes about so much more.
Yeah, exactly. It reveals more to the plot, whereas The Last of Us, it's not about the plot, it's about the characters, so they don't do that. But also, it's not The Last of Us plot at all. The only similarity is there is a parent and a child, and they're together. That's the only similarity. Nothing else is the same.
No, it's exactly the same.
No, I'm pretty sure there's zombies in God of War. Clickers, and it's post-apocalypse, that's true.
There are zombies in God of War, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like those weird little like tree things.
Yeah.
Draugr? Are they called Draugr in God of War?
Yeah.
Same as like
They
Skyrim.
would be. They would be, yeah.
Yeah, they've got Draugr, which are undead, so... Fair enough.
Same game.
Same game, yeah, you're right.
It's the exact same game.
And Mykonos is CD Projekt Red quality as well, so...
Wait, is that him who said it?
Yeah. That's him who said it.
Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
Have you ever been to Mykonos? It's amazing. And it's something CD Projekt Red would make.
They definitely would. They would.
I think they did.
What
I
am
think
I
they
saying?
outsourced Mykonos to CD Projekt Red.
They did.
Don't know about you, but I think The Last of Us and God of War are the exact same.
Yeah.
They have
100%.
survival elements.
There's no creative differences whatsoever there.
No, nothing different. That giant snake thing copied from The Last of Us. It's fine.
It was.
Yeah, like so insane. Like
character in The Last of Us.
It's a fantasy. You know. Oh my god, I can't believe that was a comment. But it's still about getting from to a point to another point. Well, I guess so's Uncharted then, isn't it? You're trying to get a treasure, but there's fucking plot points in between that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure the
things
objective of
change.
The Last
Like,
of
it's
Us is
not.
get to the highest peak in the realms. Come on.
Whereas like the character stuff happens throughout The Last of Us is the point of the story, but the whole game is still from one point to the end point, and that doesn't
That's
fucking
always
change.
the plot. The plot doesn't ever shift. The plot is always the same, but it's not really the focus. Whereas with God of War, the plot changes all the time. It's going from you want to get to the top of the mountain, and then it's like there's these other gods that are interfering, and it's like, okay, what the fuck's going on here, and why is this happening? You've got the plot developments with Atreus and his heritage and all that stuff. There's a lot in there, and it shifts all the time, and there's different focuses.
God of War is heavily influenced by The Last of Us, though. You got to admit, no, God of War is influenced by the fucking God of War. What do you mean?
Yeah, God of War is not influenced by The Last of Us.
I
People
think what he
are
means is
so
influenced by the
fucking
sort of,
dumb.
like,
I swear to
There's-
God.
it's
People are
influenced by the
people are petty.
cinematicness of it.
People are petty. People are petty. That's
It's
what it
so
is.
dumb. It's like, oh, there is a grown up and a kid. It's still be influenced by The Last of Us. Like, what the
I
fuck
don't think
are
they're saying
you
the
talking
story.
about?
They're saying the format of the game. How
But it's not even
how
similar.
the way it's structured.
It's not even similar. It's
Well, I
not
think
even a
it
little
is,
bit
where there's
similar.
It's a
sections
very
of
vague
downtime,
structure
sections
we're
of
talking about
combat.
here.
What do you mean?
It's
That
the
is the vaguest description. What do you mean? Every
And
game
they're
has
just-
sections of downtime and
And the
sections
argument
of combat.
here is they're telling me, but it's not a flaw. I'm not saying it's a flaw. I'm just saying it's why I prefer God of War and Uncharted to The Last of Us.
Yeah, Tyler
It's
just
not about being a
prefers
flaw,
that
It's
structure.
just, I've find it much more interesting when things change.
That's just it.
So it is a flaw in comparison to things that do it better.
Whereas I mean, personally, I
from another
really,
point.
really enjoy character drama. Like, that's really one of the things I love. So the plot doesn't matter so much to me. If the characters are so strong and that's the focus, I mean, that's probably why I could prefer The Last of Us. But like I said, it depends on the day. It really does, because they're both so strong. I don't want to put one above the other. It doesn't matter to me because I love them so much. I don't fucking care. Why are we ranking things? It doesn't matter which one's better. I don't care.
All I'm saying is, look at God of War 3, and then look at the differences in God of War 4. They definitely saw Naughty Dog and were like, they're doing pretty well
yeah,
there.
sure.
Let's
Maybe.
sort of make it our own
Maybe,
version.
yeah.
Maybe they saw, like, we can do a linear story focused game, but it's not. I don't
Which
think
has
it's
made it better.
But
it's
it's
made
not-
the God of War better than it's
for
ever
sure.
been.
But I don't think it was
Yeah,
God of
sure.
War. I don't think they were
Sure.
going. Let's use that and let's just reskin it as God of War. So it's our
Well,
version of
not.
that.
Well, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I definitely see influences, like in concepts for sure, like the father and son and bringing the Atreus along. I don't have any problem with saying influenced by it. There's nothing wrong with being influenced, but the story's not the same. The story is not the
Definitely
same.
Yeah,
I mean,
The
it's-
story's nowhere near the same, I don't think.
I don't even think the structure is
No, the story's
particular.
not.
What's that? The relationship is the focus. Cory Barlog even said it himself. Well, of course. I mean, that's the point of the entire adventure, isn't it?
I mean, sure, yeah.
And there's-
But that's
yeah.
not. But that's not the point, though. The focus might be on Atreus and Kratos' relationship for sure. If that's what he said it's about, and that's the focus, then of course it is. Yeah, for sure. But that doesn't mean that the plot is strictly A to B for the entire thing, the same as The Last of Us, because it isn't. It's not always A to B the entire time. There are other points that interject into that, and that then enhances the focus, which is the relationship between Atreus and Kratos, which is the point of the game. But it's not just this constant A to B, which it always is in The Last of Us. The goal is always to get Ellie to the Fireflies in whatever place it is. I forget what place it is. That's always the point of it. Whereas in God of War, in the back of their mind, they're always like, we're going to get to the top of this mountain, but it's not always their top priority because there's so many other things that happen. Like,
They get there so quickly anyway.
and as well, to get to the top of the mountain, there's different things. So, like, take for example, Uncharted Lost Legacy. Chloe's goal and Nadine's goal is always to get the Tusk. That's always the goal. They want the Tusk. But to get the Tusk, they have to do various different things, and that changes the priority of the task that they're doing. So they go to that one temple with the big Ganesh statue or whatever, and they have to do that puzzle inside, and that sends them off somewhere else. That is their goal at that point. Sure, they want to get the Ganesh. They want to get the Tusk. Yeah, I love them too. They want to get the they want to get the Tusk. That's their main goal of the game. But there's so many other things they have to do in order to do that, and it's the same as God of War. They want to get to the top of the mountain, but in order to do that, there's so many things they have to do, and it also changes the plot. And then you've got the other stuff with the Norse gods that are showing up there, and that's all different plot points that happen over the course of the game. Whereas in The Last of Us, the goal is never really, other than like tiny inconveniences that happen, like, oh, we're stuck in the sewers, or oh, you've fallen down some set of stairs or something. The goal is still always, okay, and now let's go to the Fireflies. Whereas in God of War, it's never like, oh, let's just finish with this quick little side thing, and now let's get back to the top of the mountain. It was like, we physically can't get to the mountain without solving this thing that's right in front of us.
Yeah.
The same as Uncharted in that sense.
Adidia just goes, The Last of Us isn't A to B either. Remember the winter chapter. Wait, James, do you mind asking me this question? Can you ask me what my favorite part of The Last of Us is?
What's your favorite part of The Last of Us?
The winter chapter, where they aren't just going from A to B. That's definitely that's my favorite part of the game. So yeah, sure, they do. There is a chapter where they don't
That's
do
fair,
it. It's
yeah,
also
that's a
the
good
best
point.
part of the fucking game, where I'm like, oh, this is fucking interesting. Where they're separated and this is going on and this villain showed up. Fucking love that. It's the best part of The Last of Us. It's a great fucking chapter.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's very that bit.
All
that
this
bit's
chat is
quiet,
making me
yeah.
want to play The Last of Us so badly. Like, I really want to fucking play this
Everyone,
game all the way
but see,
through
the thing
now.
is, right, everybody's saying, like, trying to argue against the fact that The Last of Us is just like an A to B story, as if that's a negative thing. It's not necessarily, because it's not really the purpose.
I just said what I preferred. And,
and everyone's going like, but it's not that, but it's not that.
But it is that.
Why
There's
is
nothing wrong
everybody
with
crying?
that. Yeah, it is that. It's exactly what it is.
It's like, that's not
And I
really
just
the point.
prefer not that, and it's okay that you prefer that, but don't pretend it's not what it is.
The point of the story is Joel and Ellie's relationship, and I love that. I think character drama is great, and the whole point is their story. The backdrop of the plot isn't really important, and there are things that happen in the game that affect their story. But the point is always, we've got to get Ellie to the Fireflies. That's always the point, and the only things that happen are inconveniences in their path. Whereas in God of War, it's not really that. It's different plot points that affect
Same with
what
Uncharted.
they're doing.
Same with Uncharted.
And the same with Uncharted, yeah. Like, we've got to get the Tusk, or we've got to go and
I just find it way
the
more
City of
interesting. I don't
Gold.
find the small things as interesting. That's just my thing. I don't find those tiny little things in The Last of Us in a post-apocalyptic world as riveting. They just don't interest me as much. You got a fantasy world like God of War and Uncharted, where it's like mysterious and historical. That stuff interests me more. It's just
I like both things for different reasons, I think. I mean, I think that's why Naughty Dog makes them.
And that's why they're different. That's why they're different.
Good for different reasons.
We're arguing that they're different, and personally, I like both of them for their different reasons. Tyler just prefers one for a different reason. You know, I don't understand why people are trying to argue against what we're saying. We're not saying this is what it is, therefore it's a negative. We're saying this is what it is, and just because of that, Tyler happens to prefer Uncharted.
Yeah. I mean, either way, why do you care what someone on a fucking podcast thinks about your favourite game?
Because what I say is fucking right. And I'm the fucking
Spider-Man, PS4, and God of War are the same. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's it. We've done it. That's the be-all and end-all, I reckon. That's the end to this conversation.
It's solved.
Speaking of story-based games, Red Dead Redemption 2 is not getting any more story.
But it is coming to PC.
Who cares?
It is coming to PC. I reckon I'll get it on PC.
I reckon I will too.
I want to play it with those maxed out graphics.
On PC. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It's going to be nice.
But it's not getting any story content.
Yeah, that's quite sad. That really is sad.
And it is sad. And I'll tell you why I'm pissed off. It's because they said, we made a mistake by not doing story content in GTA 5 as DLC.
Did they say
we're gonna do it?
Same mistake again.
We're gonna do it in Red Dead Redemption. They fucking said they were gonna do it, and they quoted them not doing it for GTA 5 as a reason they really, really want to do it for Red Dead Redemption 2. And now they're like, nah, we're just focused on online.
Well, what they said was not like a definite no. It was just a likely no. They said we're not planning it at the moment.
We're not looking at it at the moment. Yeah.
And it's like,
why?
What
happened in the last 12 months?
What happened to GTA's stuff as well? Like,
you got to remember that.
Oh God, I don't know.
You got to remember, Rockstar support their games for years and years and years and years. Just because something's not planned now doesn't mean it likely won't happen down the line.
I mean, it won't happen because it didn't happen with GTA 5.
Yeah, no, I'm
because
getting
they
that
delayed it.
I mean,
and they were far in production. They had the voice actor of Franklin. He was posting all the time about what continued work on it. They never made it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, no, like I said, it probably won't happen because obviously they see the online, they see all that money and go, ha, cash. Yeah. But because they've got such a long-winded support for most of their games these days, where they do it for years and years, I wouldn't necessarily say that we don't have any plans for it at the moment is necessarily a definite no. That being said, I'm not happy about it either. I'm like, well, we should have done some DLC, to be honest. But at the same time, do they need it? What more is there to tell in the Red Dead universe?
I mean, it's just Undead Nightmare. That's what I wanted. I wanted Arthur's Undead Nightmare.
Fuck that.
I know, but like, what was that
anything
conversation about zombies?
You mean zombies? You mean zombies? Fucking no, thank you.
I mean, that's something I loved
dead.
Undead Nightmare 1.
Undead Nightmare.
I don't think there's anything else you can do.
I tried
What do you
playing...
mean you don't think anything else you could do? What are you talking
I suppose you could release some fucking John Marston DLC for like some shit story, but I just don't care that much. Like, we've had his full game.
Jack Master.
What, that fucking husk of a character that I don't give a shit about?
Oh,
like,
yeah, let's make him not a husk,
motherfucking piece of shit.
We're talking to some of the things that Arthur's better than John.
Fuck yourself.
Disgusting.
Well, maybe there is nothing they could do. Maybe there is fuck all they could do with it.
Look, I just think that I said this on Twitter. It's a miracle that we got a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 at all in 2018. So to me, if we don't get any story content, it's not a big loss, because the fact we got that game at all is insane, because it's too good for its own good.
No.
And I don't think I don't think we need DLC, to be honest. And if it was only going to be Undead Nightmare, I don't care anyway.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Because Undead Nightmare is like
it's.
Okay. I played it recently for my retrospective, and I was like, this is like, it's fine.
It's actually bad.
It's not. It's the mission structure that's bad. There's some really good story points in it. Not because it's like well story written or anything. The whole thing is satire. And like John goes into Blackwater and he speaks to this girl that's in this shop, and she's talking about how her family's dead and all this stuff. And then John's like, okay, make sure you stay here. And she's like, yeah, okay, I will. And she just legs it out down the street. And John is just there like, what the fuck is going on? So like, he is the only sane person in this world full of like horror tropes. And I like that. But the mission structure is so shit. Like, after it does the introduction, it goes, right, now go to these various different places all around the map and just, like, kill a bunch of zombies in these areas. And there's no story to it. It's just that.
But the original Red Dead 1's mission structure is trash as well.
No. It's the same as Red Dead 2.
Are you high?
I've played it recently. It's just killing fucking enemies. It's boring.
But
there's really boring.
What are you talking about? When you're on McFarlane's ranch, for example, you go speak to Bonnie. You get some great dialogue between them to start the mission. You do the mission. Maybe they're riding to Armadillo, and you get this. It's so solid paced. You get all this exposition and dialogue between these two characters. You develop their characters. You learn about John's backstory.
That's story.
That's the structure of the mission, though.
No.
That is the mission, and that's the structure.
The exposition, the quality of the writing does not affect the structure of the mission.
So you writing in as a mission isn't a part of the mission.
That's the mission, though.
The quality of the writing in a mission is not part of the structure of the mission.
But the structure of the mission is riding from one point to another with another character, and there's dialogue between them, and that's the whole mission.
Oh God!
And that's
good.
good.
The whole mission.
But that's good though. That's good stuff, because they're not just throwing action in your face. And then you get different set pieces. Like, what about the one where you're chasing
fun
Dutch
as well in Red Dead.
up to the top of the mountain?
Action.
Thing is, I remembered it being amazing as well, and it's good gunplay. Don't get me wrong, but when they put it in every single mission, you're killing the same enemies. The enemies say the same thing, using the same weapons. It gets boring, just like any other game that you play.
What you're doing. What about the assault on Fort Mercer? Or what about when you're trying to get the ammo for the gun with Irish in Thieves Landing, and you have to break into that place and get free as Guy from he's being interrogated, and then you shoot your way out, and then you escape with the ammo and the machine gun or whatever.
Maybe it's because I've played the game so many times, but I mean, context to me doesn't do it for replayability anymore. It's sort of like the first time playing it, yeah, it's amazing, but I know the context of it now, and honestly, the second time, third time, fifth time playing it, I don't give a shit.
But like the stuff when you go with all the deputies and the marshal into the canyon, and then from Armadillo, and you track down the.
I'm not saying that all the fucking gameplay is bad. Like I'm not saying that at all. But there's some bits where it was weak. Like the bits when you go tall trees with that fucking dude, and you have to fuck about in Blackwater for so long is boring.
The worst part of the whole game is the tall tree stuff. 100%.
You don't do much in tall trees,
stuff
though.
Mexico is kind of boring.
How dare you? The Mexico stuff's like
I love the stuff in Mexico.
It's like my favorite part of the game.
I like that stuff, especially the
with
assault
Abraham
on the
Reyes and shit. Like, and you do all those
Reyes
battles
is such an
assaults.
interesting character.
I love when the game is the strongest, definitely, and then at the end it picks up again.
I don't know. Like I love all of them for different reasons. They all feel like different games. Like it feels like they've all got such different tones to them. Like I love when John is explaining his past to Reyes and talking about how he used to be in a gang, and then he talks about Dutch, and Reyes is talking about how he thinks he would like Dutch, and they have that little exchange. That's a really nice moment. There's some really interesting stuff in Mexico.
Because I love all the story of the game as well. Like I love John's story, and I love most of the characters in it. I'm just talking about it as like a game. Sometimes it isn't fun, which is a shame.
I don't.
To me, anyway. I don't know if you're looking at it with rose-tinted glasses.
Maybe in 2019, but I only played it recently. like after finishing 2, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is still
played it before 2, and I was just like, just having such a good time. Like, I loved just riding from like one town to another. Like, I still felt super immersed in the world as well. Like, just like hitching up my horse, going into like the house that I bought in that town or whatever, maybe going playing some poker or something. Like, I don't know, I just felt so immersed in the world, and like all the characters bring out, you know, the like when you have games like that, when you look at something like an Assassin's Creed or a Red Dead or GTA, with mission structure, I mean, there's not really much you can do beyond shooting people. You've just got to do the hard work to make the context matter, the characters in it feel compelling, and the dialogue good enough that it makes the mundane actions that you're doing fun. Because, I mean, it's the same as Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot of it is just shooting people or riding from A to B, or, I don't know, because they're restricted by the gameplay of their open world game, I suppose. So, I don't know, but to me, I like the structure of, but I think my main issue, the structure of the main campaign of Red Dead Redemption 1 is just significantly different from that of Undead Nightmare, is my point. Because in Undead Nightmare, there's a bit you get to where there's no cutscenes and you're just going from A to B to C, just killing zombies in these different areas to liberate the areas and have people return to the towns before you can progress to the next piece of story, which is just the main reason why I don't like it. And I don't think it's that good. Like, I would prefer for a DLC for it to be like
something else entirely.
I mean, yeah,
ideally I'd agree there, because I think that they could do so much with Red Dead Redemption 2 DLC. I don't think it's about whether or not it's needed, because that's just redundant. It's a missed opportunity from Rockstar's perspective if they don't, because there's so much that they could do in that world. But it's a case of, will it compromise the story that they've told already? And Undead Nightmare is an example which wouldn't do that, as it's just a parody on its own. But then again, Red Dead's always had like a little bit of parody atmosphere to it. Like, even in the main story, there's been a little bit of parody going on somewhere in the background. You know, it's not necessarily intended to make you laugh, but it is it's a parody universe, essentially. It's the best way to describe it. But then again, most Rockstar games are.
It's a bit more
like
subtle
a
than like a GTA, though. But I've always found that Red Dead Redemption 1 was a bit more like that. Like, it lent itself a bit more to an Undead Nightmare, whereas Red Dead Redemption 2, if they did an Undead Nightmare that was in the same vein as Red Dead Redemption 1, it would almost feel super jarring, especially if you're playing as like Arthur and like you're in this world and like, I don't know, it would just be so weird to me, because Arthur doesn't take shit. Like, he'd just be like, fuck, I just don't even care. Like, he'd have no reason to do any of these things. And like, when would you set it as well? Because when you've got like with John in Red Dead Redemption 1, it's like he's already a really good man and he has a lot of honor to him. Whereas with Arthur, when do you set it? When he's already had his redemption, in which case he's got fucking tuberculosis? Or do you set it earlier than that, where he's just like a cunt? And then
we could easily fix that by just setting it in a different universe where the timeline of the original one doesn't matter.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, it's the same as what they did for Undead Nightmare 1. It's not canon, is it? But
yeah, it's just a joke, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could just do that. They could just bring in Arthur and be like, he's a good guy, but also, I don't know. If it might
maybe I
weird.
remembered Undead Nightmare being better than it actually was, because I was a kid when I played it last. And
so riding around your horse shooting zombies is pretty fun when you're a kid, I guess.
It is.
Is it?
I don't know. I remembered it. I remembered it being fun, and then when I played it, I stopped playing it because I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this is just boring, and I was like, I've got enough footage to just briefly talk about it in my retrospective. So yeah. I don't know, but in terms of story content, I mean, the ideal thing, what I would have loved for Red Dead Redemption 2 is just to have Red Dead 1's story, like as like a standalone DLC or something, just the whole of Red Dead 1, but in the Red Dead 2 engine in that world. Because it's weird, like, they built all of New Austin, and then also, if you glitch yourself into Mexico, you can find, like, models of the forts that are there in Mexico, and it's like, you can't see that from the land, so why are they there? Why'd they put that in?
Yeah.
So it's like, were they planning on doing it or not? I don't know. But it's weird because New Austin has absolutely nothing. It's not even part of the main story other than you go there once as John with Sadie, and that's it. So
I'd like a bit of Mexico. I think that would make for a fun little expansion, to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I would have enjoyed that a lot.
Since
there's so much space, can you imagine how many more fucking Red Dead videos I could make out of Mexico? Oh my god,
you can make so many.
So many.
Mexico mysteries.
It'll
be epic.
It'll be fucking beautiful. It would be great. Because I do enjoy those videos. There's an atmosphere to them when I'm making them and when they're made, and it's like, oh, this is fun. I know that this is the kind of content that you can binge watch. And I do it.
Yeah,
I do it
yeah,
myself
I see what
sometimes.
you
I'll
mean.
fire up 5 or 6 of them and just go, "Oh, they were great fun. Wow, okay." I need.
There is
I need
quite a lot of
friends.
content like that actually.
Yeah,
There
you
is
can
actually.
sort of just sit down and you're like, oh, this is just like an interesting like question about
Yeah,
this
but-
thing, like little mystery.
And I don't
there.
see anyone else making videos in that sort of format where they just go into it as a mystery as opposed to, hey, this is this. By the way,
Epic Easter
this is a
egg.
lot of filler
Like-
content in the way to make a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only one that's made videos on Red that has not done that at this point. There might be others, I don't know, but of that format, I feel like I'm alone, and I
Yeah.
just want to make more of them because it's great fun.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Yeah.
That being said, someone did send me something on Instagram that I don't think I've seen before, so I'll have a look into that. But that's great.
Is
I
that
just
for an
can't
actual
believe there's still
comment?
things. I can't believe you haven't run out of things. I just can't believe it.
It's
I
such
can't
a
believe
big
it either.
world. Like there's so much
But
stuff
it is a
in
massive game.
It's crazy. Like
There's
there's
a
just so
lot
much
to go on.
detail in it. It's really cool.
And that's what makes this that series, so fun with that atmosphere because there's so much to look at and so much to sort of explore. And you can connect the dots between certain things. Like for example, if you go into Strawberry as John in Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll find a man who's lost his dog. Now, you can help him find his dog, and he says, "I'm at that house over there." So you take the dog back to the house, and it's the house that Micah shot up in chapter 2, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, this dog is the only family I have left." You're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" You know?
Oh,
You're
that's
Wow.
terrible.
like, "Wow, okay, so Micah killed this kid's family." It was one of them ones.
Jesus.
That's how detailed Red Dead 2 is.
It's really good. I miss Red Dead 2. I'm gonna have to replay it at some
So
point.
as much as
So am I.
I mean, a DLC would have been great. You got to understand that it would be a massive undertaking to uphold that. So it could take longer than say now to do. So the fact that they don't have it planned means that if they do it, it'll be years down the line, which means that it's not likely at all.
I'm
is
sure
it?
they have it planned. I'm sure they have it planned though.
No, I'm sure
know what
they
they're
have
doing if they
ideas.
Mm.
I'm sure they have ideas of what they want to do, but they don't really know if they want to do it yet. I think it's probably what they want to. That's probably
I think
what
it's
they're
more
thinking.
of a, is Take-Two going to let them do it? Or are they going to force them to focus more on multiplayer the same way they did with fucking GTA 5?
Yeah, yeah, of course, that's a big one there.
Which is
'cause
annoying.
you know what? Here's a multiplayer. Let's put some microtransactions in. Gold bars. That sounds like fun.
Oh, God,
hey,
it's so-
this cool
such
update we've been
cancer.
advertising for
Fucking
ages.
hell.
Look,
It's
Amir
50
loves it.
gold
It's
bars for
alright.
a third of it.
I will slap him here. Fucking
Amir
stupid
loves
bitch.
He loves the GTA
It's-
Online. It's a piece of shit. But he
Oh
loves
my
it.
god, fucking GTA Online and Red Dead Online it's just the worst. It is a fucking cancer. Like just looking at it,
It's
I'm like,
fucking
why are there 7,000 currencies? What the fuck is going on? What is this? Oh, I
Yeah,
hate
no.
it so much. It's
They
just
introduced
not...
a new one in the most recent update, and it's like a blue little token thing.
Oh,
And
God.
I looked at that and I thought, what the fuck even is that? Like who made that, and where did it come from, and what does it do?
God.
I was not pleased. I
It's
was
like-
not pleased to see that.
It's the same reason with like GTA 5. I started really disliking GTA 5 as an experience, like the story, purely because I had it soured so much by GTA Online, and I just don't want the same thing to happen with Red Dead, because as much as I love that game, I'm just seeing it like it's just getting so fucking tarnished by this multiplayer, and then all the videos coming out on the multiplayer, and it's like, oh god, I just don't want to touch this game again.
I've
at the
never been
same
too
time.
keen on Grand Theft Auto because I've always seen it as far too full on all the time. Whereas with games like Red Dead, like you said, it's more subtle in its parody aspect, so you can take it seriously. Whereas with Grand Theft Auto, I look at it and I go, I just want to play tennis.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
why
gonna
I
go play
like.
tennis.
I think that's why GTA 4 is my favorite GTA game. I think I came to this conclusion on a stream the other day. I don't think I like Grand Theft Auto. I think I just like GTA 4 because I don't really like San Andreas that much. I'd never played any of the ones before that, and I don't really
You
like
like
GTA
San
5 that
Andreas?
much.
San
like-
Andreas is all right. I mean,
I just don't
there.
think I like GTA. I just think I like 4 because it's closer to Red Dead, because it's grounded and it's a bit more serious and character focused. I prefer that. Whereas GTA 5 is a bit more over the top and crazy. San Andreas is a bit
I've
of a
heard
similar
things
way.
about Vice City. That Vice City is incredibly like character based and has a lot of really good character
I've
moments.
never
in
played
it.
Vice City, so I can't say. But I played Vice City Stories.
I've heard
the
great things
PSP.
about Vice City and GTA 3, but I've just never been able to play them or got round to them.
Yeah, I've got them on Steam. I bought them because there was a sale on Steam for all of Rockstar's like GTA. Oh no, all of Rockstar's games. Like Bully was in there as well for like a really cheap price, and so I just got it. So I had all the GTA games on PC. That was a while ago. It was a few years ago. but I've never got around to playing them.
I enjoy a little bit of Bully, to be honest. I mean,
I really like Bully.
It's quite fun.
I really like it. I never finished it, but when I was playing it, I really fucking loved it.
It was entertaining.
I like the characters, the story. It was just really like
it's not something you can sit down and bash, though. It's not something you can sit down and play more than a little while, because there's just, as much as it's a fun game, there's not too much going on. So when you sit down, you don't really feel lost in the world. You're like, oh, I'm playing a game. It's one of those games where you can enjoy from maybe an hour, and then you go, I need to switch this off. This is
you can't really get lost in Bully.
No, I mean, you probably could, but I can't physically.
Yeah,
I never even played Bully, to be honest. I never played it in my life.
I'd recommend it.
No, right.
I like it a lot. I think the characters.
I feel like now it doesn't matter. Like it's too late.
Maybe. It'd be cool if they make a sequel.
Yeah, I'd play a sequel.
Yeah, but what would you do with a sequel of Bully?
It'd have to be separate.
Just a different school.
I think if anything, they'd probably reimagine it because it's been so long. They'd probably just reimagine it. Like, what if we made Bully now?
And call it Bully.
And it would just be probably completely different.
And it would just be called Bully.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I think Bully was a one-off.
Yeah, I think so. Unless I don't think they'll do like a Bully 2.
I don't think Bully 2 needs to happen. People go, oh, look at this Bully 2 nonsense. Yeah, do you think they were making that in the back room when they were working on Red Dead Redemption 2? Or do you reckon all these employees claiming to be working 100-hour weeks were doing it just for kicks? What do you mean? They're not working on Bully 2 in a back room, are they?
No.
I think Rockstar are working on... They're working on GTA 6, then Red Dead Redemption 3, then GTA 7, then Red Dead Redemption... Like, that's what they're going to do now. Like, I don't know why they waste their fucking resources on other shit.
They might
100%. Are you joking?
Redemption.
Well, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Because it almost feels like Red Dead was a one-off and then they had this amazing idea for a sequel and so they did it. But, like...
I never felt like it was a one-off.
How long do you keep
I felt like Red Dead Redemption was so good, they're like, we have to keep going.
Red Dead was never a one-off because it was... because of Red Dead Revolver before it.
Yeah, so, I feel like Red Dead Redemption...
We could make another game. I don't think Redemption necessarily, but they might make another Red Dead game. So they might make like Red Dead something else, Red Dead Retardation. I don't care. They'll make it. They'll make another Red Dead.
There'll be another Red Dead, 100%.
Thing is, though, the main focus of Red Dead has been, I mean, what they've coined now after Red Dead 1 and Red Dead 2 is this character-focused, story-focused game. So if you make another Red Dead, and if it's not Redemption, I guess you've got to nail that again, but with a whole new set of characters, and there's got to be a reason for it to exist.
They could, in theory, do.
They could, but like it'd be weird though. It's like, why are they starting? Like they're just starting again with a bunch of new characters in a different place, trying to make another character-focused, story-focused game that's about cowboys.
In theory,
it's a weird concept.
It's the same way they do. It's the same way they do GTA.
Yeah, but GTA is
different shit every time. No, I don't think it. I don't think it is, man. I don't think it is.
GTA has always been in a different place every time, though. They never do sequels.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can do Red Dead anywhere.
Some GTA games are in different universes to
I wouldn't
other
be
GTA games.
I've been saying if they don't do a sequel, if they don't do Red Dead Redemption 3 with whether it's like Jack or whatever, I don't know. The next one will be in Australia, I think.
I mean,
Red
Dead out.
It'll be in Texas as Cowboy.
There's been enough hints in Red Dead 2, and there's so much there you could do with that. So much. It'll be so different, so unique, and you can still play with the same types of stories. Because the only other country that has similar Western sort of lifestyle in a period, like the Western America, Australia during that time, the late 1800s, we didn't have cowboys, we had bushrangers, but it was the same sort of shit. And a lot of myth story sort of came out with that, and real stories and all this shit. Like, there's a lot of, a lot you can do with that.
Yeah. Here's a question, with regards to Rockstar. So they've made GTA, and then they did a similar thing, but they made a Western game. Are there any other genres that you think would work for Rockstar to make? Something maybe completely out of the blue that might work. Because I mean, thanks for that. But I think because it's like, oh, the GTA guys are making a Western. Is there anything they could do that could sort of be out of left field? Like, that might be interesting to see them tackle.
I mean, they've been hinting at fucking aliens for years, haven't they?
You say sci-fi, but I mean,
yeah,
I don't really want them to make sci-fi.
but I feel like if they did,
I'd want to see a Mafia game. I want to see them do Mafia.
That too. I would love to see that as well. I think that'd be great.
I feel as yeah. Sorry, go on.
Could you imagine Red Dead Redemption 3 Jack sort of 20s in the 1920s, and it's more Mafia style? It's not even really a Western.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I guess. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Sure.
I
mean, I meant a new thing entirely, but I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying 20s Prohibition, like a Boardwalk Empire, but a game. I'd love to see that.
I mean, if they were gonna do it, I'd rather just it be a different new thing entirely, because I would be like, that's you could start a brand new franchise with that if you were to do something Mafia. I mean, to be completely, yeah, what are you saying?
They could use the same universe and continue on into not necessarily a different franchise, but give it a different title, if you will, and say that it's sort of its own separate story that exists in the same universe with the continuation of a character who, of all the characters, we don't really know much about Jack as an adult and his life going forward, so they could always tell that story somehow in some way.
I want to see it. I want to see.
I reckon that'll be pretty damn good. And I mean, like George said, as of the end of Red Dead Redemption, there's not really much to Jack, so they need to add that going forward, and that would be a good way to do that with a story set after all of it in a different time period, if you will, with Jack's development to it, his adaptations, and then his sort of character arc, turn him into an interesting character essentially. I think that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like there's a I mean, like I like the idea of a Mafia game from Rockstar. I've been saying that for ages, that I think it'd be great for him to do. But I think it'd be very interesting because I mean, Western's quite different to like a GTA type thing. And so if I was to go like crazy and like say, what kind of genre would I want Rockstar to tackle? Because I think it could be interesting. Two that come to mind is either for them to go like medieval and see what they would do in that period with like knights and kings and queens and politics and all those sorts of things, or pirates. I think would be another interesting one to see how Rockstar would tackle that, because they're so different from what they've already got. I think just seeing them tackle an entirely new genre that's very different would be. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what they would bring to that.
I think Rockstar's preference of game engines might be a tad too clunky for sort of medieval knights and things, but
I mean, sure,
I guess
they could figure it out. Come on, Rockstar.
But I'm sure they could. I'm sure they can make it kind of. That'll be kind of interesting as well, because can you imagine those fucking mysteries for me to sink my teeth into?
There'd be so many mysteries. There'd be so many mysteries.
So many mysteries. Who killed this man? It was just me. I decapitated the fucker. No, who's this dead man?
It'd just be. I just think it'd be some really cool ideas, like this. The stories they could tell with like pirates, for example, with like all of the famous pirates, and they could inject some like fantasy stuff into there as well, being its own sort of pirate story-driven pirate game.
If they were to do a story-driven pirate game, they'd make their own characters, because, like I said, they like to make parody universes as opposed to like based on real history.
True, but I mean,
so
if
instead
they
of having these characters have different ones entirely.
That's a good point. But in my hypothetical universe that doesn't exist, I'd like them to use some real ones in there, because I think it'd be interesting. But maybe give them their own spin. So like they're either exaggerated or like slightly different in some way. It'd be interesting.
Yeah,
or create fictional characters that are very clearly heavily based on real characters or real people.
It's more likely what they'd do that, to be fair.
Which could be interesting. But I'd love to see them. I think it'd be interesting, because I think there's a few settings, like Pirates is one that you don't get a lot of games of, really. Like you've got Black Flag, and like I can't think of another big budget pirate game other than I don't know, Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones, but they don't really count. So it'd be interesting to see like that. Something like that tackled, or another detective game, because I fucking want a good detective game that's, LA Noire started something that was pretty cool, but I'd love to see something way more deep than what we got there. That'd be cool.
Yes.
Gaming.
Gaming.
That's a lot to digest. There were so many arguments so far in this podcast. I realized.
It's great.
It is great. They're my favorite ones when there's just fighting. I was
Exactly,
going to say, if you haven't already, like the stream right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on YouTube live right now, give us a like.
Love.
There's only a couple more things I want to touch on. We got a trailer this week for Stranger Things 4.
Oh,
Did we?
we
Another
did.
thing
Well,
that I watched.
Oh, is that we're not in wherever?
We're
it
not
was?
in Hawkins anymore.
Is that it?
that-
Is that it?
Yeah.
That was it. There's a teaser. Stranger Things 4, we're not in Hawkins anymore. And I
We're not in
consider
Hawkins
that a direct threat from Netflix to As Always Entertainment. Because what they're doing is, we have pulled the rug right from under them. Their cover-up, their conspiracy, that we are all in Hawkins and always in Hawkins. And we've shined the light on it. And now they're trying to distract the world and lie, spread propaganda, saying we're not in Hawkins anymore. And the fact is that is a blatant lie by Netflix, and I consider that a direct threat on society and on As Always Entertainment. No, okay.
that's
not,
it.
not what
Gamers rise
Thing is,
up.
we do live in a
Netflix is
society.
the society. They're trying to tell us that we don't live in Hawkins when we know we all live in Hawkins, and that is the society. So I'm going to need everybody in the chat to rise up real quick, and let's take the fight to Netflix, please.
Everyone
Thank
in the
you.
chat, please recognise that we live in a society. And
Exactly.
stop letting the chads suppress you.
Exactly.
It's
you're right.
it is honestly disgusting. It is
Yeah, I
disgusting.
don't get it.
I can't fucking. I tell you
I'm
what.
mad.
I,
I'm upset about this, James. I don't know about you.
I'm very upset about it. But the, I mean, talk about Strange Things 4, right? I can't take Stranger Things seriously anymore.
Oh, whole show has been ruined.
I-
The whole show has been ruined
We,
for me now.
it's really
What
upsetting
ruined
because we
Have you
we
not
ruined
listened to? We did a Stranger Things 3 podcast for Cinema Room, and by the end of it, like, we spent the last 30 minutes in tears laughing for 30 minutes. I've never laughed that much in
it.
my
It was
entire
fucking
life.
ridiculous.
We
I
literally.
mean, I've never
we
watched
kept-
Stranger Things, so I mean,
We came up with a meme and laughed about it for 30 minutes, and it ruined the entire show. I can never watch
What was
it
the
again.
meme?
Oh, it was the meme
That we
well,
all live in Hawkins.
The meme was that
Everything is
we're all in Hawkins, and the Winona Ryder is insane, and she believes that she's actually in Hawkins, and that's where we always are.
Like the actress Winona Ryder
yeah,
literally believes
yeah,
that Stranger Things is real when she shows up to set.
because we looked at this isn't really a spoiler at all. It's completely out of context. But at the ending of season 3, they basically they leave Hawkins, and then the next scene is they're back in Hawkins for some reason. Like they had a scene of them leaving, like they're just driving away from their house or whatever, and then the next clip is they're back in the house like they never left. But it's not like an intentional like what the fuck moment. It's like they fucked the editing, but like it added to the conspiracy that we're always in Hawkins and we can't leave. And whenever we leave Hawkins, we're always back in Hawkins
hang
again.
on, I'm gonna have to fire this up and watch it. So
It's
like
so
the last-
fucking weird.
I've got a timestamp. I'm pretty sure I commented a timestamp of when it starts, and then it's like till the end of the podcast. We literally are just cackling, laughing.
It's
So you're saying there's like an editing fuck up where one moment they're leaving, the next they're back.
Well, it's not an ending fuck up. They intentionally did it, but it feels like
it feels
a dumb
weird.
thing to
Like
do.
it was weird because they basically they just show everybody getting in the car and driving away, and they go past a sign that says leaving Hawkins, and then they cut, and the next clip is one of the main characters back in that house that they were just in, just reading a letter. So obviously it's like before they left, but it's the weirdest fucking thing. It's such a weird editing choice, and it just fueled the meme because it's like, oh, and that's it. There's proof you can't leave Hawkins because as soon as they left Hawkins, they were back in Hawkins because you can't leave. It's not possible.
And then every movie, like, and we just bring it up, and like everything she's in, is
let's
in
watch
Hawkins
this.
and shit. It's fucking
Leaving Hawkins, come again soon.
Yeah, it's
Or okay, they're off.
yeah,
They're dipping off.
yeah, they're dipping off, and yeah, it just became a ridiculously dumb
Back in
meme, and it's ruined the
Oh,
whole.
God.
Yeah, it's ruined the whole show. It just ruined the show. I don't know how to explain it. It just
we went on
it's
for
so
so
ridiculous.
long. Like if you want Stranger Things to be ruined for you, go listen to that podcast. We don't even talk about one of the most emotional moments of the whole show. It's like this bit at the end of it.
We just had to stop the episode.
It's this letter at the end of the season that one of the main characters gets and is reading, and it's a really poignant emotional moment. When I was watching it, I was really sad. Like, I cried. But when we were doing the podcast, we were laughing so much at this stupid meme, we didn't even break down or talk about that moment at all. Because we'd already ruined the show for ourselves. And it made it the dumbest thing. It's the stupidest
and the fact
thing.
that the trailer for season 4 is them going #we're not in Hawkins anymore. I'm like, well, that's a direct assault on As Always.
We are though, aren't we? We are in Hawkins. What the fuck?
Because we're all in Hawkins. You're in Hawkins right now. We're always in Hawkins. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but whenever I post photos on Instagram now,
I noticed.
I add the location on Instagram to be Hawkins, Maine.
So funny.
Is that an actual place then?
Yeah, it's a real place.
Oh,
I don't do it on everyone, but once in a while, I'll just, like, when I post something, it'll be like, you know, where it's like you can post the location of where that photo was taken.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just put it Hawkins.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's fucking so retarded. It's my favorite meme of 2019.
Oh, it's so dumb. Fucking Hawkins.
Hawkins, my G. An absolute place.
I should watch Stranger Things. I probably should watch it.
You should watch it and then
But I
you
just
should
can't be
listen
arsed.
and then you should listen to the spoiler cast and just ruin it. It'll be great.
Why? Why should I ruin it?
Because it's too funny to miss, I think. I remember it so well, and it was just so funny. We just couldn't fucking stop laughing. It was so dumb. It was so fucking dumb. Like, we start off the podcast, and we're like, welcome to this, you know, the Spoilercast podcast. We're breaking it down, and we go into it, and we're serious, and we're, like, talking about everything, and by the end of it, we're just in fucking tears, laughing about fucking Winona Ryder. It's so fucking dumb.
She's just such a fucking stupid bitch. That's the problem.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'm mad and upset with Netflix that they're continuing to spread this conspiracy, and we'll try to cover up the
I
conspiracy.
can't wait for season
And
4.
we're gonna have to, you know, I'm never gonna even watch. Seriously, I'm gonna watch it just so we can do a spoiler cast on it and just fucking talk shit about it.
Is that what we're gonna do?
What's the general consensus on Stranger Things? Do you like it?
It's
I
good.
don't know what to think.
Sure.
Like,
It was once my favorite Netflix show.
It was so fucking good, but I just can't take it. And like, we came up with this other joke as well because so it's been a long while since season 2, and even more so than since season 1. And so the actors have all grown up significantly, but they're still playing younger than they are. And so we looked up all their ages, and like one of them's like 18. He's playing like a 13-year-old, and it was so funny.
Fucking hell!
It's so funny when you look at all those.
And then Millie
things.
Bobby Brown, this fucking like 15-year-old girl, has like 30 million Instagram followers.
It's fucking
She
mental.
She literally has 29.6 million Instagram followers. A 15-year-old girl. Why?
It's so funny. And she's
Because
flirting
apparently
with
people
Ray.
know what a 15-year-old
Late
girl
night.
is doing.
It's
in their,
creepy.
spare
It's
time.
creepy to me.
So
It's
fucking
so
weird.
creepy to me.
I mean,
And that was
I
another one of the
personally
jokes.
don't like her attitude, so I don't give a shit about what she fucking talks about. I don't even watch her in fucking Stranger Things, so I literally don't even like her at all.
Oh,
But like
it's
people
so
seem to love her,
weird.
so I don't
It's
know.
so weird because when I was watching Stranger Things 3, I was absolutely loving it. It was so fucking good, and like, it was so emotional by the end, and I was like, that was incredible. And then we do the fucking spoiler cast, and I'm like, there's no way I can watch season 4 and take it seriously. I'm just gonna be laughing.
Because I
at it.
didn't like season 3 that much. I thought it was average. I loved season 1. I loved season 2 even more, and then I just thought season 3 was fucking ugh.
Well, I think season 3, I like season 3 because it was like, I loved seeing all the characters back and seeing them interact with each other, but I think we both agreed on, the thing we didn't like about it was the fact it was the same retread of the story. Like, there was no development to an overarching plot. It was just like the same thing again. It looks like, actually, to be fair, what they're doing with season 4 is exactly what we said. Like, let's go to the fucking Upside Down. Like, what are we playing at? They didn't even say Upside Down in season 3. But, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully. But also, the show's over for me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Just can't wait to see Winona Ryder again. It's going to be so much fun. Oh
Fucking
my
dumb
god.
bitch.
I can't wait. Ah,
That's fucking fantastic.
All right, fair enough.
what a fucking show.
And that's it.
That's
That's it. That's the topics, ladies and gentlemen. That
Yeah,
is.
boy.
Oh yes.
That's Kill Connor Club, episode 110.
Mhm.
In the books.
Wow.
A lot of arguing. A lot of Ethan seemingly uninterested.
You don't want me to get passionate about an argument, do you? Let's be honest.
No, there's nothing
Fuck
scary.
that.
Top 10 fears. That one's up there.
Oh god.
Nothing scary.
When does that Breaking Bad movie come out?
this week.
It's a Breaking Bad
Friday.
movie.
Thursday. It's Thursday.
Oh, did it actually come out this week?
What
Yeah,
date
it comes out this
is
week.
it?
It's set after the Breaking Bad movie. It's all about Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited
October
for that.
11th it comes out.
It's
Yeah, so-
spooky, but
So Friday.
Friday.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't
comes
wait.
out
I can't fucking wait.
So we said this. So right after this podcast wraps up, the Joker Cinema Room is coming out on Patreon, and then next week it'll come out to everyone else. And then the next episode of Cinema Room, we're going to do El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie.
We are indeed. I'm going to have to recap some Breaking Bad before I watch that movie because I don't
I'm just going to watch the last episode.
I haven't-
it's
I haven't
so
watched Breaking
good.
Bad in years, so I don't remember much of it at all. I'm gonna have to watch a recap, some key moments and stuff in case they reference stuff. I don't want to miss any cool little callbacks or anything.
Breaking Bad is one of the shows that I have such a good memory for some
I
reason.
want to rewatch it. I wonder if I could binge the whole thing before the movie.
Oh,
comes
it's one of
out.
the best TV shows ever made. I reckon you could. It's 5 seasons. Not many
6.
episodes in a season. Is it 6?
Yeah, 6 seasons. Remember they split season 5 into 2 things, and then just it's just another season, isn't it? Because a year apart.
62 episodes. That's not many episodes. I could probably do it actually. You know what?
It's a lot of fucking episodes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna
It's
do
like 45 minutes per episode. You can do
No,
that easy.
James, don't do it in a week. Don't do
it
that.
easily. I can
Do
do
it.
it.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
don't
Do
do
it.
it.
That's
Do it.
so easy.
Do it.
That's 62 hours, man. That's almost 3
Yeah?
full days.
Yeah. I can do it.
No, man, don't do that to yourself.
No, I can do
What?
it.
Breaking Bad? One of the greatest
It's a
TV
great
shows ever
fun.
made.
I
That's,
know,
that's going
but
to be a
you-
pleasure.
Tyler, you
but
did
until-
Suits.
but until Friday.
That's easy.
Friday, James. You
It's
can do
5
it.
days.
I did it with Suits, and do you know what it did to me? It gave me crippling depression.
If I watch,
I've never been depressed in my entire life until the period of time where I watched 7 seasons of Suits in 2 weeks. I actually wanted to die. And I know I'm joking, but I'm also not joking. I was genuinely depressed.
I mean, I don't have to watch El Camino on Friday because we're not doing the cinema room. It won't come out until the 20th of October.
Yeah, but we're doing
Wait,
the
if you
cinema
get
room on
big fat
Sunday.
spoiler.
Why wouldn't we do it? Wait, what do you mean?
Because we're backlogging them, bro. We're going to backlog them.
Can we not just swap them around?
Well, then what are we doing on next Sunday then, bro? What movie are we going to do?
Whatever you want.
When are you going to have time to watch anything, bro? When are you going to have time to watch anything? You're watching 17,000 hours of Breaking Bad. And not
Let's do
working on
Breaking
videos.
Bad.
No, I don't
Why
want to do
not?
Breaking Bad. Fuck off. Because it's not going to come out before El Camino episode, bro.
Fuck. Well, we could whatever we're doing. We can just switch them around. Just pick anything.
No, man.
We
No,
can't do that.
what a-
Well, they'll come out when they're meant to come
We'll
out
talk
normally.
about this later.
But we'll
Let's wrap
record
this
them the other way.
fucking
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
Ethan sounds like he's ready to die.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm so sorry. What are we
I am
doing?
ready to die. I just
All
want
right.
to come dead.
Thanks everybody for listening to this episode of the Kill Corner Club podcast. This is episode 110 with the 4 pillars. We'll see everybody in another 10 episodes for the return of the pillars, episode 120. That won't be for a while. So
You know.
I mean that I don't know what I was really saying there, but that's the case. Thank you to our Patreon producers, King Richard III, Smexy Dork, Elsker91, H+12, I Got Big Shoes, Seth, and Josh DeVellier. You're all bloody fantastic. You keep us going. You keep the lights on. I mean, you don't, but you keep the
Keep the
podcast
gas bill
going.
paid.
You keep the water bill
Keep
paid.
the water bill paid.
Oh, the water bill. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah, the
the
water bill.
bill's
Yeah.
crust paid.
The really expensive water bill that you pay every Sunday. It's it's killing us out here. But thank you to all our Patreon producers. You're bloody brilliant. If you liked this episode of the Kill Connor Club and you want more stuff, like Tyler said earlier, the Joker Cinema Room will be coming out momentarily just after we end this. I still need to render it and stuff, but it'll be out as soon as possible. So probably give it 10 minutes and then it should be up on Patreon. So if you pledge just $1 or more, you get access to that when we finish this, and you can listen to our spoiler cast on the Joker, which will be great. And as well as that, you get exclusive access bi-weekly every time the Kill Connor Club isn't on to the Kill Connor Clubhouse podcast, exclusive to patreon.com/as always. So to thank all of our sweet vintage lads that are pledging $5 or more supporting us over there, we have got King Richard III, Smexy Dork, Elsker91, H+12, I Got Big Shoes, Seth, Josh DeVellier, Ballsack47, Damian, Bill the Team Tynamite Captain Robertson, Tman or Travis, SuperTuberEddie, Baby Boy, KEMOSABE Gamer, Casey Wood, Pink Flame 313, Adam Sundling, Alfie Rowsell, Jamie Brown, Jesper Olsen, Lumistrad, DIDDLOTIC, Mariford380, Wants to Blow, The Creed, Fuck Cuck, Brendon, Overlord, RAVJAI, Ikraik, Oscar, Benedict
God
Parker
damn it,
Returns, Jimli, James and Lad, Durose Bully in the Alleys, Zahir the FAT Gamer, Max H, Gene, Zeke, the #1 fan of JB Smooth, the actor, Son of a Bitch, Ogeaidogo, George, Noah Watts, Furious Coco, Nick Miller, the ACMJS, McZed, Kassassin, Kyle, S. Jaws, Marcus Blackburn, ML Catwalk, Joshua Mora, Ginkgo Swag, Master Bass, Remy the Rat is a cunt, Ashton, Amir, the Synth Potato, Yazen, Joe the Sex Boy Smith, Joe aka Fan of Scarab, Iron Man's for the Dads, Deraday, Alfie Robert, Brian Ford, Casper, Fizhy, and Andrew Martinez. Thank you all so much. You're all bloody fantastic. And we'll see you later on in 2 weeks for Kill Connor Club. We'll see you straight away after this over on Patreon for the Joker, and that'll come out to the public in a week's time, and then next week as well on Patreon will be Clubhouse. So that's everything. That's our plans for the next fortnight, boys. And we'll see you later on. Thanks for the pillars, the extra 2 pillars.
Remember that we live in a society,
always,
boys.
Yep.
Always keep that in the back of your mind.
And Netflix are that society pushing their agenda that we're not in Hawkins. We are in Hawkins, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly, that's it.
Oh no.
That's it. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, boys. Bye bye.
See you later. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.